Hello, hello, hello. Let's jump over straight to the gameplay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Good to see you, DG. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Greetings, travelers. How are you all today?
Thirsty Thursday, by the way. For me, it's whiskey. DG, it's coffee.
It's whiskey day. Yeah, always coffee. It's never a whiskey day for me.
Never whiskey day for you?
We've given up that life. We've given up that life.
Okay.
It's always coffee now.
Good to see you all in the chat, by the way. Welcome the 30 viewers there. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a good week so far and ready for the weekend very soon. So, DJ, how was your week so far? And I mean, since we talked in Studio 16, how has it been?
It's been really busy actually. Really, really busy. A lot's gone on in the last month, as you know. I think the last we talked was Enver Silver was our last guest. That was in December. I guess I'd like to say thank you to every one of your listeners and everybody else in the community for your tremendous support. Myself, Lily Hop in the cafe. It's been a lot of support for her and what she's been going through, and just take the opportunity to thank everybody for all of their support helping. Myself personally, I've been really, really busy running the cafe in her absence, and various other communities I'm a part of, and in between all that, I've been building a whole ton and filming. I had a week off, and I pumped out a whole bunch of videos for my story. It's been a heck of a ride and a really busy month, but a good month, a really good month as far as productivity for me. So, yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, it's a new year, by the way. This is the first Studio 16 of 2023. So it's a Happy New Year for everybody that I haven't, seen yet. Happy New Year, DG.
Yes. Yeah, I know, right? It's so fast. A whole new year all of a sudden.
Oh, by the way, yeah, the Christmas tree is gone already. Normally I take it away at 16th of January, but I had time to clean it up. I saw that Lily was posting some tweets, so it seems like she's doing better, which is good to see.
Yeah, she's trying to get a little bit of her mental health, in order. And sometimes, you kind of have to sort of say hi to people and friends that you've known on social media.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long road for her, a few months. Yes, but there's progress, and something like that of that extent, it's going to take some time. So we're just working through that and allowing her to heal at her speed. So
yeah, which was not a simple procedure, so that's to be expected. No?
It turned out to be 3 in total.
Yeah.
So it was not simple at all, and definitely eye-opening. So
yeah, I think it's every time with this situation that you do step aside of your your life and think about life is very fickle, and you start thinking and re-evaluating your decisions and life choices.
Yeah, life is very precious. So take care of yourselves, you guys. Yeah, if you're sick in any way, see a doctor. Don't play it off. So you never know. And COVID is not to be taken lightly. Even though I was lucky myself with very little symptoms, others are not. So you never know.
Yeah, but what I also meant is that you can kind of get to this the routine of your life, and you kind of lose track of your goals or life choices that you went for, and then suddenly next year has passed by. And when you hear things like that, like, oh, this was a very dangerous procedure, and then you think about your own life as well, like, hey, I wasted another year, that kind of thinking. This could happen to me. Why I'm not changing this, or why I'm not doing that? But yeah, next year is going to be the same again.
Yeah. Always, live your life to the fullest, right? Because you never know when it's your last, or how much time you really have doing the little things. So But yeah, no, it's been like I said, very eye-opening,
Mm-hmm.
and humbling at the same time. And what a great community we have to show such amazing support out there. Every one of you have all been there from one form or another, helping any way they can in small ways. So it's all been, very appreciated. And I know that if she were available to chat, then she would say thank you very much, and that she loves every one of you. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say it for her.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Well, let's say it as well. We love you, Lily. We
There we
love you
go.
too. Let me just type this here quickly. There we go.
No worries.
So I'm as you might have noticed, I've not been doing a lot of No Man's Sky except for the expedition.
Yeah.
Have you been doing anything else except for building? Have you doing regular gameplay or just being busy with building projects?
A little bit of gameplay, but a lot of it has to do with the building and filming of
Uh
the
huh.
story that I was writing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the gameplay, right? I wanted to capture natural gameplay of me doing things and so on like that. So I had a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of building, a heck of a lot of filming and editing. Um, I think I mentioned the last time we were in Studio 60,
Uh
and I
huh.
was adopting a new software. So I'm loving that, and it's been really, really fun. I enjoy that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a hobby that I've really enjoyed. Yeah, lots of No Man's Sky. I took a small break for a week to try a different game and see how that was.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun, but I'm back to No Man's Sky all the time now. I never stay away too long.
I'm hoping to see. I mean, we are now halfway, not halfway, but almost halfway January. So I'm assuming we get like another month or so, and then we'll see the first update of 2023.
Yeah,
Um.
I have a feeling we're going to see something pretty soon. I've noticed some weird things in the servers
Mm-hmm.
over the last week or so, maybe a little bit longer. That's usually a sign of something that's coming down the
Yeah. Yeah.
pipes.
Yeah.
Internal updates, little weird little things. They don't
Mm-hmm.
always tell us when there's a internal
A
server
server, yes,
update.
or
So
server-sided in the server-side updates.
yeah, I've noticed timing issues with the
Mm-hmm.
adjacency
Mm-hmm.
glitch, multiplayer issues,
Base not
various
rendering,
little things. Actually, my bases have been rendering better
but I mean
now
visiting
than they
bases
were initially.
sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That's always sort of a finicky little thing. People upload their bases and
Mm-hmm.
then you go visit and it's not there.
No,
Um,
I heard a
yeah.
lot of people saying that they, for example, go visit and they see an older instance. Um, and I think that might be, sometimes if they, for example, took the server offline and you updated it, you say you updated it, but it didn't work because you were still on the old instance. We'll see anyway.
Yeah, strangely enough, the base that you visited last week is not the same.
Which was that? Yours.
That was the little aerial
Yeah,
battle
yeah, yeah,
of all
yeah.
those little ships. Yeah, there were some changes I made to that a year ago, and have uploaded it since a year ago. And you saw the version that was the original
Uh huh. Uh
version,
huh.
and some of the changes that I made just a few weeks back when I was filming in there as well. I had a cube just floating in the middle of the air when I was putting fireworks up and things like that for the filming. So some strange issues with what is rendering, what isn't rendering. Yeah, I don't know. The windows. Remember you mentioned the backwards windows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I,
You
I
fixed
fixed
that.
that. I
Yep.
fixed that. I fixed that a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and uploaded.
It's
So yeah,
weird now.
it's
Yeah.
really strange what it wants to show. Very very odd. But yeah, they're working on something for sure. I've noticed
Yeah, yeah.
some weird changes out there, but No Man's Sky. It is what it is. A little bit bugs and all, and I think we love the game for its quirkiness as it stands sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, they've made some changes for the good, some changes for maybe not quite so good, but we work with what we got and have some fun doing it as well.
I noticed that on LinkedIn they are looking for new uh, staff. So I'm not sure if it's going to be for No Man's Sky or if it's for the new game, but they're looking for 2 new people on LinkedIn.
I would think just overall for the new game, there's a certain level of familiarity that you kind of need to have with the game when you're working on it. At least you would think so, anyways. But I think their staff is always growing because they keep winning all these awards, and so they're getting big, a little bit bigger. One step at a time, a little bit here or there. You would expect them to grow as time goes on, and they've grown in the past a little bit as well. They were once just a small crew of 20 people, and I think now they're closer to about 30 or 40
They're more.
people.
I think they are 40 or 48, 50 people now. I think they are.
Something like that. Yeah. They've definitely grown over time, and it's lovely to see. Even still, 48 people is a really small company when you think about like games like game developers like Ubisoft and Havoc, or not Havoc, who does the Call of Duty series there? That was it, Treyarch and
Treyarch is, I think Treyarch is done now. They don't exist anymore, or at least they changed name or something. It's Activision.
They may have, they merged with Activision, I think, or something like that. I stopped playing that game so many years ago now.
Yeah, I did play the last one, which was pretty fun, but yeah. I cannot keep my attention to that anymore that much. I used to play Call of Duty like insanely much, but
I think we all did a little bit here and there. It was good for what it
the
used
Modern
to
Warfare series were really good.
Yeah, the first-person shooter. It was the best of its kind at its time. But things have changed and time has moved on, and there are other games out there that do the same thing. And what can you say about some of those lobbies? They're a whole pantload of fun. But it is what it is with it in the gaming world. There's always an evolution. For me, I took a step in the chill direction and picked up No Man's Sky because that was a little bit more my style than that kind of game. But I'm looking forward to what No Man's Sky has in the future with the new game that they've talked about in their development. And I'm really curious about what they have to offer, what it's all about. Is it the same but different? Is it completely different? If you remember correctly, there was the last Campfire that they came out with, which is a complete departure from No Man's Sky. So you never really know.
Yeah, true. I mean, the only thing I'm pretty sure about is we will see the update somewhere. I think it's, what did I say again last month?
I can hardly remember last week.
14th to 15th of February. That's what I'm thinking we're going to see the update. But for the rest, I don't know what, because there's nothing, there's nothing in the files. There's nothing leaked or whatever, which, I think we kind of are done now with the leaked 2020.
23.
No, we had like a 2020 leak, the downfall leak or whatever it was. I think we can now safely put that aside and say, okay, I think we're past that now.
And 4.0 was the big one that we were all waiting for, and that's been released. So
yeah, I think 4.0 was a change in direction, and probably something telling us about what the updates are going to be aimed at, a rebalance.
I like what they did with the update, and not everybody did. It wasn't everybody's favorite, but I still like what they did and where the direction that they're trying to go with it. Fully customizable game saves is definitely a way of going in the future. I myself only have one save with customizable features in it. I like things the way they were, but I also like the fact that they've given us the option. The more options you have at your disposal, the more fun that you can create with your friends and make it more unique to the experience that you want to have as a gamer. And I think that was the way to go in the future. And I think that was a smart move. A couple of changes they implemented, I think were really good. I like the changes, specifically with the inventory and the technology slots. That one is a real sore spot for many, but at the same time, I think it was required in order for other things to happen. So
I think, I mean, we'll see what they do. They probably could still fine tune it a little bit to, make it a little bit more accessible. But for the rest, for me, a Waypoint as a gamer was like, okay, that's nice. I think that was a needed change. As a content creator, it was like effing hell, All my guides, all my videos broken. That was, pain.
I think as a content creator,
Yeah.
they're always going to be
Well,
that kind of a feeling,
there
right?
are
Because
there are
things
games
change.
that are you can make a game guide that is evergreen for 5 years, but No Man's Sky doesn't work like that. So yeah.
In another sense, it may be a lot of work for content creators to change, their videos or to recreate videos that are out of date.
Mm,
But it also keeps those content creators busy at the same time because,
true, but it gets
content
boring and
gets stale.
tedious.
Yeah,
If you
what
have to
is
make a guide
tedious to
about
some
how
is
to
new
make money
content to others.
10 times, it's effing hell. I'm tired of hearing myself speak about how to make money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you and I are in different directions for
Mm,
content creation. You're a full-time streamer. You provide tutorials for many and so on like that.
mm,
Myself is more of a different direction of content creation. I'm not out necessarily looking for tons of subs. But of course, every little bit helps
Go
and
to
and
sleep,
and feels
crazy
good.
lady.
I'm more along the lines of documentation or creating
Go to
stories.
sleep,
I've done a
crazy
few
lady.
tutorials, but I don't reach an audience that is very
mm,
large, and so it's hard to see real success when you don't have a large audience. So I sort of rethought my whole idea as a content creator and went the direction of creating story. Um, and so it's a little bit more
mm-hmm,
story
mm-hmm.
driven and feeds my need, I guess, for my other addiction,
Yeah.
which is filmmaking and video editing and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So and of
Yeah.
course I've got a great friend in Possess who's I purchased all of his albums and he allows me
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
use the music. So it's been fantastic being able to work with him on that. So
He's been pretty busy now, Possess, I think, in real life. It's been a while since we, seen him in game or in the Discord or
yeah,
something.
yeah, very busy,
Yeah.
working on his career, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's life changes throughout,
Yeah. Yeah. True.
the course of a 6-year game. These are the ebbs and flows of the players that we have and people that we meet and make friends with. He's very busy, but hopefully soon he'll have a little bit of time and we can hang out or something like that in game for who knows when.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's just how it
Yeah. Yeah.
goes with a game that's this old, right?
I don't know if we have a link to Possess's music, but it's pretty nice music, by the way. I used actually one of his songs he wrote specially for my Pol. What was the name again? The train.
The Polar Express.
Polar Express. Yeah, he actually
Yeah.
made the song for that video. So definitely check out. He has
Yeah,
some really
that's
good, Explorer and Builder music if you want to for No Man's Sky.
he does. I'm sure I can find a link here. Let me see if I can dig one up in my files here. I post it every time, so that I'm bound to have a link in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. See if I can pull one up and then paste it in chat here. I'm still a moderator in your channel, so I should be able to do that.
Yeah, just jumping quickly back to about the content, for example. There, the thing is, there's two sides on content creation. There's one content creation that makes money, and there's the other content creation that is fun.
Yes.
And it's very hard to have like the middle one where the fun and the money is the same. So
Yeah,
what is
I go for the
nice?
fun
What is
side.
nice is to make an evergreen video that brings money in the table, and then I can make the fun videos. But if I have to constantly remake my money making videos, I'm getting really annoyed, and I cannot make any fun videos anymore. That's my problem, Sean.
Oh dear. Let's see here. I'm just working on that quick little link here.
Uh, hey, APG. Hey, thanks by the way, APG, for the raid before there. I saw the waves and the raids passing by. So we are. I don't know. You want to talk about something? Thanks for that. Did you drop a link? Oh, no, this is the link to his YouTube channel.
I'm just doing that right now, actually. There we go.
Pezes on Bandcamp. Yeah, there he is. Definitely check him out,
Yes.
guys and gals. You know, guys is gals as well. You know, I'm. So. Definitely check him out. He has some really good music, and if you want to support him in any way, that's a way to do it. Give him some, buy one of his albums. Really good music too. You know,
Absolutely.
just go and explore it.
Yeah, he writes a lot of music for No Man's Sky Exploring, Building, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also taken a departure from that as well with some of his newer albums he's put out. He just put a new one out just not too long ago. I think it was last week, based off the moons of Saturn, and it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very different, chill music. So, you know, he's a really talented guy. Bandcamp is pretty easy. You get a couple of free listens out of it. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those kinds of things. Yeah, I support my friends as best I can, and he's definitely worth it if you guys are interested in new music. So
nice. Whew. So, what do we need to cover still before we invite our guest over? Is our guest already sitting
what
in
have
the
you been up
bleachers?
to?
Ah, okay.
Is it what?
What I've been up to is not No Man's Sky.
Yeah, a lot of Valheim, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been playing a lot of Valheim. Is there a future in Valheim for you? I noticed you've got a new server that you guys have leased or rented.
Yeah. So we are on the server with Jason Plays, Zane's World, and Golden Gag. That's the Bela's Rest server, which is our server. And now I also joined the second server, which is Ravenheim, which is another content creator group. So I have like quite a lot of content to do. So I'm hoping to split my time now off over Valheim, 2 servers, and No Man's Sky.
And that's the other channel, the B-side, correct?
Yeah, the B-side is now mainly focused on Valheim.
Okay.
Which is doing pretty well, by the way. The Valheim actually boosted really... when Mistlands, the new update released, was really good for the channel.
Yeah. And you're focusing the Beeblebum on No Man's Sky, or is it No Man's Sky and other games?
No Man's Sky and other space sci-fi related games. So if Starfield releases, whenever it releases, that will be also content dropping on the Beeblebum channel. And anything else. I mean, I've seen a few other space games, but I really don't catch. It doesn't really catch my attention long enough to make, content about it. But I think Starfield might be. I do like Elder Scrolls and the play, the storylines of Elder Scrolls. So I might try out.
Yeah, Starfield's been getting a lot of attention lately. So I guess we'll see what happens in the future of that one. Who knows? You never know. It could be another great game, and never count a video game out till after it's released, right? And then try it out and see what you think.
But it's also a different kind,
different directions. Yeah, there's 2 different directions that they go with games like that. There's what's interactive, like what we see on No Man's Sky, and then there's very menu-based games where a lot of the gameplay itself is in the menu, and I guess trees of upgrading, things like that.
What did I say? Yeah, but I have to say, No Man's Sky is pretty also very menu heavy. If you're, inventory, spend a lot of time there.
It can be, yeah, it can be at times. I think once you've sort of gotten a feel for where things are, you can move through it a little quicker. I know Star Trek Online is very menu heavy as well. That was a very popular game. There's different variants.
I also I noticed as well that Star Wars, a new Star Wars game is going to come out somehow. That is going to be very No Man's Sky like they were talking about.
Yeah. I was watching another content creator the other day who was talking about that. We'll see what happens.
Mhm.
That's a very big game developer that's producing that one. So you never really know how that's going to work out. Could be great or it could be a flop. But
Yeah,
hey, just put them out there and let the fans decide.
that's true. That's true. So, yeah, so like I said, that's been my main focus. You might have noticed as well in the Discord that most of the videos I've been dropping are Valheim focused, but there is also nothing happening for the moment in No Man's Sky, so it's a good time for me to just focus on something new, and then once February drops, split my time up again. I do need to focus on making a guide, the new guide for 2023 glitch building, because I think I have a
Yeah,
good
I
way.
agree.
I have a good way to explain it, because glitch building is actually very simple button wise now. There is actually only 3 combinations of buttons you need to know anymore. So I'll try to make a guide about it as soon as possible. And then that effing sphere. The problem is that I need to make another guide.
Spheres are daunting to people who don't know.
Uh,
Once you've learned how to make one, it's not so bad anymore. But they are very time consuming.
mm,
To do a tutorial for something like that is sometimes you almost need to do like a mini series on how to build,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that of that nature.
But
But
I need to
yeah,
make
I
another guide
understand what you
before,
mean.
because I need to
Hmm.
explain how you can shrink or expand your circle before you build your sphere, and that's what I need to
Hmm.
explain. So that needs to be a separate.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily we can link videos up now with YouTube,
Oh yeah,
which is a really handy feature.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can go
yeah.
to a
No,
link
no, it's
that's
true, it's
posted
true.
above and
It's a
link from one video to another.
it's a good point. Mike said that's going to be also a plan of 2023. Is also I'm going to be adding the Switch buttons to the list as well now. So every new guide will show all the platforms with Switch included.
Yeah, which would be really kind of cool as
Yeah,
well, right? We have
because
to include
the
our friends on the
Switch
Switch.
the Switch has different buttons, by the way. They are rotated, which is a pain.
Mm, okay, I didn't know that, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm still learning what buttons there are, so when I'm explaining to others how to do things, I have to use the function name instead of the button, where what they are on the keypad, joystick, or whatever. But I've gotten into the habit of using it that way, in description wise. I'm looking forward to where Switch goes. I'm hoping that they move into the multiplayer aspect of the game as well, so they can join the rest of us, other platforms out there. That would be a really nice touch, but you never know. It's Nintendo, and they kind of march to their own beat.
Yeah, I still doubt it. Still doubt it very, very hard that we will see multiplayer in the Nintendo Switch. But you never know. I already have been. What you say it?
I'm not sure.
When
Or
Legacy Zero said that it's gonna drop on the Switch, I already made fun of him. So I'm not gonna make fun of him again. Um, but
never
I
make
doubt
fun of
it.
anybody. They'll
I
prove
I
you wrong.
doubt I doubt it's gonna be multiplayer, but I will probably be proven wrong. You never know.
Yeah,
Do we have our guest
speculation
in the
is yours.
bleachers, by the way?
I believe so. I saw him sitting there a
Okay,
moment
good, good.
ago.
All right.
We have a very special guest today, and I've been looking forward to meeting with this guest myself for a long time now. So this
Mm,
is kind of a nostalgic
Come
moment
here.
where
Let me pull him in.
there we
Hello.
are. Hello,
Hello.
welcome to the show.
Don't forget to unmute you.
Yes, the unmute button.
Nope.
There we
So
go.
we have
How's that?
There we go. There we go.
that's good. Welcome to Studio 16. It's a real pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you.
Why is my clap track not working? Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey.
There's no clap.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's working. It's working. Welcome,
Wow.
Kanaju.
Thank you, Beeblebum.
So
Good to meet you, DG Squared. Howdy, howdy.
Yeah, it's been
Ooh.
a long time coming. I've seen your name many, many, many times on my YouTube feed and watched your videos, and so it's kind of a pleasure and an honor to meet you after all these years of doing content. Um, you've been a long time player of No Man's Sky, and of course I'm a day one player as well. So it's like seeing somebody that you've watched for years finally meet as a friend here. So that's really, really kind of cool, and I'm really happy to meet you.
Thanks. Well, I mean, I'm honored. That's really cool. And I feel similarly about you too, Beeblebum. I've I've known your name for a while, and whenever my friend and I are building stuff, we always joke about, oh yeah, we're gonna outdo Beeblebum with this one, and then it always looks like trash. But,
I got to the point myself now that I don't do myself anymore. So
Please take a seat. We've got a few chairs set up here for you.
does it matter which one?
Take the
Our
one nearest to
tradition.
Beebs because you're the one. You're the special guest.
sit close to me. Just imagine me tapping on your
Sit
chest.
close to
Tap
Uncle
tap
Beebs.
tap tap tap.
Very nice. Let me switch my camera to photo mode because in all kinds of weird something's glitching through the studio. I don't know if y'all can see that too.
No, I don't see anything. Do you have like a
Uh,
freighter or something in here?
I don't know what it is. It's big and it's green.
That's
I
your
don't
foot.
know.
It actually looks a bit like a planet. Hard to say, hard to say. But let's not let that distract us. Hi.
Well,
Welcome
that's
to the
weird,
show.
but okay. Welcome indeed. Good to see you. I hope you're doing all right, Kanaju.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good.
2023.
So what you been up to in No Man's Sky yourself?
In No Man's Sky, lately I've been trying to capture footage of things that I normally wouldn't have the time to chase after. Since, as you were talking about before, there isn't much going on with the game at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really into the like the Redux expeditions.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't replayed any of those, so I've just been exploring, getting back to my roots.
So, and you were talking about that was a little bit of a challenge to get back making content as well.
Yeah, yeah. So the last week of the year, especially, I really struggled to come up with stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it's been good because I usually have a long list of videos that I want to make,
Yeah, yeah.
and I've sort of been bringing those back up. But this also gives me a chance to work on other games such as Assassin's Creed and
Mm-hmm.
BioShock, which I'm excited about. So I'm trying to get those out, as soon as possible
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I also assume we're going to get an update in February. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your channel really grew in the last year, I would say. I think it really boomed suddenly, your channel.
Yeah. So last January, a year ago, I think I had between 300 and 400 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole first quarter of that year, I think I had less than 5,000 views. So those first 3 months, I mean, uh, barely getting any views. It had many days with like zero. And then at some point, I think it was March or April, a couple of my videos picked up a lot of traction after the Outlaws update.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I'd had a bunch of videos lined up that I was excited to make, but I'd been on vacation in February, so I hadn't made any. And it just so happened that the time when I was making all these banger videos I was excited about
Mm-hmm.
was also the time I was getting a
Yeah.
lot of views. So it was sort of like synergistic, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And yeah, it was, I guess, a snowball effect. And
Yep, is
uh,
indeed. Yeah.
yeah,
Once you got a good video, you have to keep on getting a video on the next one that kind of picks up again the traffic from the previous one. So, and that really happened
yeah,
with your
yeah.
channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which it's kind of difficult to do when I specifically pick like really specific topics for every video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to do a follow up if you know what I mean. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
really any. series of videos, except for my spelunking in space, which practically no one watched. I would just explore 6 caves every episode, but, those I actually had a lot of fun making. But it's like you said, people, there's the videos that people watch and then the videos you
Yeah,
really enjoy
yeah,
making, and they're usually not the same.
yeah. Yep,
It's
indeed.
hard to capture that lightning in a bottle, for sure. Like you said, you did it around March, where suddenly things took off for you and your channel. And you're a content creator similar to myself, where you don't necessarily stream, but you make videos that are pre-recorded and then put them out there. Um, and sometimes that can be really difficult to read the crowd on what their likes and dislikes are. And so you put a lot of time into the creation of some of these videos, but you're not always rewarded for the time and effort that you put into it. So it's always very hard to read that audience.
Oh, extremely hard. And then even if you have a video that you're pretty sure people would want to see and you've gotten requests for, sometimes YouTube just
Mm,
doesn't show it to your subscribers. I have so many videos where especially non No Man's Sky ones where I'll have like 10,000 subscribers at that time and I'll
mm.
publish it, and to this day it has like 400 views.
Yeah, yeah, but
And
that's
it's some video that I spent like weeks capturing footage for
no,
and all these hours editing, and yeah,
yeah,
it's it could be discouraging, but I mostly make those for myself, so
hmm
I don't mind so much.
yeah. That's the main reason why I also split my channel up so I could make Valheim content. Because if I made Valheim videos on my No Man's Sky channel, it just did not pick up, and now you can see the difference. One of my videos is 100,000 views in like a month, which is insane.
Mhm.
So it's really important to if you have a good channel, prioritize on one certain type of content, and if you want to make serious content about another game, is either split up your channel or just take gaps and focus on another game and then jump back to the other game. So you kind of YouTube's algorithm can pick up on what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah, that
I think it's
mm,
your No Man's Sky videos that really picked up now with your channel.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
What's funny is a lot of my old videos, the channel was originally, I think my first video was a Roblox video. Um, and then I made some BioShock machinimas back in like 2008 or something like that.
Mm.
But yeah, it was the No Man's Sky videos that really picked up. But that being said, I had thought about doing another channel, but I guess I have it in my head about being like a variety channel
Mm-hmm.
where I want to post pretty much all of my
Yeah.
content on the same channel. And
Mm.
I've seen other people do it. I don't know how how the hell they do it, but it must be possible. So I don't mind taking some L's on
Yeah.
some of the odder content I make.
Yeah. True. But yeah, I don't know. It's I've been looking at that as well. It's like they're variety content creators, but they are also really variety. They never stick to one game. The channel is not about the game anymore. It's about them. I think that is the
Precisely.
difference as well. Um.
Yeah, and eventually I want to get there.
Mhm.
I'm sticking to one No Man's Sky video a week roughly.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm hoping to publish a second video every week that is
Mhm.
not No Man's Sky,
Yeah.
just to kind of keep that flowing. So
Mhm.
we'll see how it goes. It might be terrible, might crash and burn, but I'm enjoying it, and I feel
Yeah.
like I learn something with every failure anyway.
True.
So
True. True.
yeah.
It's an interesting business. You're talking about multiple channels and variety channels. I think those who are successful with variety channels have always been variety channels,
Mhm.
and like Beep said, they never stick to one game. When you build a subscriber base off of one game, a lot of those viewers, they like you to stay with that game for a long time. We see a lot of this in No Man's Sky specifically,
Mhm. Mhm.
where when you start veering to other video games, your viewers tend not to watch so much anymore, and that you may have a high subscriber count, but the views go down significantly when you stream other games and things like that. And so having a base that you've started with one game, it kind of locks you in for a little while unless you specifically are a variety channel kind of thing. It's really interesting, and I look at it very much like television and television programming, where people will change the channel without hesitation on you, and they don't always give you a chance. Um, it's really kind of interesting with the YouTube algorithm, and I find it very difficult to keep up sometimes, and it changes. And of course, YouTube has changed their algorithm and some of their rules and regulations just not too long ago. I think it was a month ago or something like that. They made more changes to how content is restricted on those who get paid by YouTube. I can't remember the term off the bat right now. I've got a little bit of a foggy head from sleep, but monetization is the word I'm thinking of. So some of that has been changed as well, and it's really difficult to keep up with some of these changes if you're like myself, kind of a part-time content creator who doesn't necessarily take it seriously. I do it mostly for fun, and so my channel is not as successful as somebody who takes it very serious and more business-like. So it's hard to capture that lightning in a bottle, so to speak. And yeah, like you kind of want to stick to certain parameters when you've got a channel that has a subscriber base that has already been established. But at the same time, everybody gets a little bored with the game, and you want to sort of try different games, and you want to stream it or make content for them, and it's really hard to branch out if you've already got a subscriber base that's established. So yeah, like what Beebs has done with the B side, it worked for him because he was able to branch out to another game on a different YouTube channel and see exactly where he needs to improve on the other games that he streams for. And you can see the success and failures a lot easier than when you have a subscriber base that is already established with
and not
one
interested.
game. Yeah, and they're just not interested, right?
Yeah.
They would rather watch another channel. But if you supply them with another channel, suddenly they're interested again. It's the strangest thing, and
it's also No Man's Sky. The No Man's Sky audience is very, very picky. I mean, mainly general, not all of not personal, but as a general group, they are very picky. There's a lot of very extremely loyal players that do not play anything else. And if you play something else, they kind of hook off, and it's like, nah, I'm not interested in it. I don't want to see it. That's a bit of the problem.
Yeah, and I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Especially, I see it a lot with. I remember after Odyssey launched for Elite Dangerous, a lot of a lot of Elite Dangerous streamers and content creators started doing Star Citizen content. Because there was a whole issue with Odyssey. That's a whole saga. But it was just so interesting to see almost an entire, like, all these creators switching their primary game and how successful it was for them. Simply because of how hungry Star Citizen fans are for content, but also how welcoming they are.
Yeah.
But I've seen it, within the community. People here will sometimes bash Elite Dangerous, and then you go to the Elite Dangerous community, and they're bashing No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, and the same with Star Citizen, they're bashing the other two, and it is strange how tribal people get about this kind of stuff.
True. That's very true. Well, they all have their pros and cons, but yeah. I mean, we know definitely the cons of No Man's Sky, that's for sure. And the pros, of course, but...
Plenty. Both.
Negative Nancy.
Yeah, sometimes I get really frustrated, so...
Yeah.
So, you've been playing No Man's Sky since day one as well, no, Kanaju?
Yep, since day one.
You played it straight with the release, or...
Yeah. I picked it up. I forgot to. I always. This is one of my great regrets in life. I forgot to pre-order it, so I had to go to GameStop the day of, and I didn't get the cool pre-order ship. And they were actually out at the first GameStop I went to. It was that popular. I had to go to a second GameStop, and then pick up 2 copies. And
If you would have
Rest
gone a
is
week
history.
later, you would have had a lot.
That's true. That's true.
Like yourself, I didn't order the pre-order package and missed out on that whole train. I was lucky where the game stop that I went to, they had the game still in stock. I called down and I said, "Do you still have the game?" And the guy he laughed at first. He laughed at me, and I went, "Yeah, we still got it." And I ran down there and picked it up, and I was completely blind to the media and had no idea what was going on, behind the scenes, where there was a lot of negativity around the game, and I played it for a good couple of weeks before I started watching other streamers, and Twitch was the platform that I was watching at that time, and that's when it opened my eyes to what the world was thinking of this game, which I had absolutely fell in love with, you know. But yeah, I missed out, and I regret that as much as you do, not getting the pre-order stuff and all the cool package with the little, fancy little ship and everything else.
Oh, I got that. I didn't get the the downloadable content though. That's the sad part.
Okay.
You didn't get the ship and game, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got both of the collector's editions.
No, I've been looking at them, but
They
they're
were.
too expensive.
I'm sure they're expensive now, but let me tell you, that first year, when everyone quote unquote hated the game, you could get those things cheap, which is exactly what I did. I was sure to buy it when Waking Titan was going on, because I was thinking, man, this update's going to be big and people are going to like it, and the price of these are about to shoot up. Let me just invest a
They
little
did.
bit now.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Now, did you take part in the Waking Titan ARG?
Yeah, I have an Atlas Pass level 4 on my shelf, looking right at it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you?
I do. I was one of the lucky few that took part and got a V4 pass as well. I did as much as I could in terms of following along with the Twitch streams that they put out there, controlling the little hamster and the little games and things like that they had the audience doing.
Yeah.
There were various little things of helping the dream travelers stuck in the dream sequence there.
Yeah.
It was really cool, and I really loved the ARG. I think that's when they were right at the very top of gaining their momentum in regards to gaining back that momentum that they had lost. And it was revolutionary for video game to do that, and it was amazing time and a lot of fun, and there was so much buzzing going on every single day. I was not one of the lucky few who got a tape, but
weren't there only like 16 or 24 of those?
I believe there were 16, and a lot of them were, people who were quite famous within the community, like Cobra and things like that. Yeah, it was really, really kind of cool, and you always sort of look up to some of those people who got those in-game items and wish that you were one of them. Yeah, no, I mean, I just took part as a viewer and one of the people who got to take part in the thing. It was a great time for No Man's Sky, and the hype train was unbelievable. Every day there was something new. I still have on my phone the uplink, satellite uplink that they provided. What was it called? Myriad uplink, if you remember.
Yeah, I think I have the bookmark on my screen too, even though I don't think it loads anymore.
No, it doesn't load anymore, but I think I still have it. I never deleted it off my phone, just in case, finger quotes up here. But I would love to see another ARG within the game. It developed a lot of lore, which I think the game needs to go back into a little bit, maybe put some ties back into that, tie a few things together. They've got a great writer who they've hired. Well, a couple of times he's been there and gone and there and gone, but it was a fantastic way of opening the eyes to a lot of players to the lore of the game and developing lore as well. So I hope in the future they do that again because that would be really, really amazing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I know a lot of newer players to the game didn't get a chance to take part, and that would give them the opportunity to do so again. Getting the V4 pass was really kind of cool because it was like your claim to taking part in a very special event. There were some people who were buying those passes off of what was it, Amazon and some of the other things like Craigslist. And I know one person, he had like 10 of them that he bought. But no, I earned mine, and I think you did as well. Yeah, it's one of those things I cherish. I've got it in a little case in my room there, all
Heck
sealed
yeah,
up.
I've got it in one of those baseball card cases as well.
Yeah,
Definitely a prized possession.
it is something that's really easy to pick up. You just grab one of those little card protector cases and just slip it in there. I always hoped that they were going to do something with that. You know, the little code that you had on the back that was
Yeah.
specific to you.
Yeah,
And it never really flourished into anything. And maybe they did have plans at one time, but it never really took shape. So until then, it just sits there, and it's there, and they've got my information if they ever want to do anything with it. But yeah,
I doubt they will ever do something with it, to be honest. I mean, you see how much hassle, or not hassle, how much fuss is made by people that missed expeditions.
yeah, that's
yeah,
true. I mean,
and-
at this point, I've given up hope. But yeah, for
Yeah.
the first year or two following that, I was still hoping,
Mm.
something would come of it in game.
yeah. Well, it was very expensive to run an ARG as well. They have to pay another company to run it for them, and it was very costly. And although it paid off for HG, you never really know how the fans are going to receive certain things. And we've seen that with updates many times as well, right? Where they've got such amazing plans with updates, and they're talking a big game, and then it comes out, and the fans are screaming and yelling and stomping their feet. So you never really know how
No.
things are going to be received.
Because you notice that sometimes in the way Sean is tweeting, okay, he's proud of this update, and then he's getting bashed for it. It's like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you never really get used to that kind of negativity in the media, right? That's probably one of the hardest things as a game developer is being able to take that negativity and stay positive through all of it. That's got to be really, really hard. I hope I never have to go through that.
I'm mentally preparing for it since I'm hoping to launch a game next year.
Ooh.
So that'll be fun. I'm sure all the Steam reviews, all the bug
Yeah.
reports, refund requests.
So, are you a coder? Do you write code for your own material?
Yeah, I'm a bit of everything.
Okay.
Growing up, I did a lot of like homebrew game development stuff, but now I'm working in Unity. So
Okay.
graduated from Game Maker to Unity.
Are you willing to share anything with that, or you just like want to keep everything secret for the moment?
Oh, I'm keeping it very secret.
Okay. It's an 18+ game, guys.
Well, be sure to post about it and let others know. We have a very supportive community, and a lot of people will definitely try it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Just for the sheer value of supporting other game developers and content creators in this community.
I think
so
that is a smart idea. Go for content creators as well. Give them stream keys or something, and
Ooh, and I could give them discount codes for their community.
That's right.
That might be fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can advertise the platform of your game. So use the amazing community that we have to help you along your journey. And I definitely wish you luck. I hope it works out very well for you.
Yes,
Thanks.
indeed.
I guess you'll see, right? We'll all
find
see.
out soon enough.
Yeah. But thanks.
So recently, you've built a base and issued a challenge.
Sure.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it. I saw the Reddit post. I think he posted it on Reddit. I
I
saw
don't
it
think I
somewhere.
did. Someone
I
might
don't
have,
know.
but
Yeah,
it
I don't know
wasn't for
where I
me.
saw it, but yeah, I saw
Uh,
it, and then I think it wasn't too long ago. I saw somebody streaming it as well. Zoo Games, I
yeah,
think. Yeah,
Zoo gave it a
and
shot. Nolopata made a video about it since he and I played offline together.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a building. I built most of it on stream during my first live stream, aka my only live stream. But I built the frame of it, so everyone knows what the frame looks like. But then offline, I went ahead and built the rest of the interior,
Yeah, yeah.
and the interior is filled with all kinds of secrets and traps and stuff like that. So yeah,
Nice.
I thought it'd be a fun little challenge, especially right now during this lull in the No Man's Sky
Uh-huh.
news cycle. You know.
It's always hard because you want to make a video about it, but you don't want to share anything of the tricks and trips. So it's very hard to make a video about a maze or the puzzle or the challenge base.
hmm Which is why I'm inviting other people to run it,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
including
Okay.
yourself.
So guys, we're gonna
And
be
then
doing
I'm
the
gonna use
challenge.
this footage and make my own video about it. So
Uh, we're gonna do the challenge, but you cannot watch. You have to all watch away. You just have to listen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Can you tell us what inspired you to build a challenge of this nature?
Well, um, when it comes to game design, I've ever since I was a kid, I've always been obsessed with like secret areas in games. I'd always go for all
mm-hmm.
the skill points, all the secrets, especially like old-timey platformers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and so even in No Man's Sky, I'm always building secret areas into my bases. Like if you were to visit my other bases, they would all have secret areas. None of them this intricate, but they would have some kind of secret Easter egg for those that are
Yeah.
poking
Yeah.
around. But for the lodge, I've always see this is odd too. Back in Roblox times, I pretty much took the basic starter home area and I built a whole bunch of stuff into that as well. And it's because I used to be not obsessed with, but I love the iconography of like the Masons because I
Mm-hmm,
loved
mm-hmm.
National Treasure growing up, so I love treasure hunts and all those ideas. So I always like the idea of building like secret temples into
Mm-hmm.
like very plain public looking buildings
Yeah. Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
So this was pretty much me building an inner sanctum for initiation rituals, I suppose, into the lodge. But I could still post the lodge like publicly on my website, on my channel, and people could visit it. But unless you were privy to the fact that there
Uh-huh.
were secret areas, you would never find them accidentally. You know.
Mm, good.
And it just turned into something that I figured, hey, it'd be kind of fun to challenge people to find it though.
Um, I don't think I'm gonna. I forgot the name of the person that invited me over for a similar thing, and I said I'm gonna make a video about it, but I was so like, Nemo, that's his name. I was like, I'm not gonna make a video about it because it's gonna just completely ruin the experience of the base. And I think I'm not sure if you know Nemo yourself, Kanaju.
It sounds they sound familiar,
It's
but
N Nemo actually written, but he did a great base. It was a really interesting base that shifted dimensions when you were walking around in it. Really well done. You might find it interesting, but I don't want to. I didn't want to make a guide about it or a video. So if you want to check it out, I might send his Discord account or something if you want to talk to him.
yeah, sure.
I mean,
That sounds
Give me
good.
a
I
special
know if
spoiler screen to
if it's
pop up.
interesting, if it's interesting for you.
No, I find like novel bases in No Man's Sky really interesting. I always like to see how people push this game to its limits, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always fun to like jump into a game that you've played for hundreds of hours, and you're pretty used to what you can see in No Man's Sky, and then all of a sudden there's something you've never seen before. You know what I mean? It's exciting.
Yeah. And it's just the base building now is really booming and great builds. That if I do the tours, it's like my God, the imagination and creativity now is insane. I mean, it was insane before, but now so many people are building such great things. It's yeah, it's really fun to see what happening.
Yeah, the list is growing of
Mm.
really talented and creative builders out there. And of course, HG has embraced that a lot with the change of base building and the functions, the controls and everything. When they brought out the Frontiers update, it's allowed for a lot of other players to be able to learn the I guess what you and I would call the basic glitch building techniques.
Mm.
Um, and really express their creativity in a very amazing way. We've got some really amazing people I've seen in your Discord who have made some incredible stuff. And of course, every week or not every week, every month you do your
Mm-hmm.
base tours, and it never ceases to amaze me. Some of the creativity shown. Um, by a lot of these
Yeah.
builders out there. And you look at things and you're like, gosh, man, I wish I
Mm.
had done that, or I wish I had
Mm.
tried something like that. And you could, but it kind of takes away from their creativity, and
Yeah.
you kind of have to express your own creativity for each thing that you do. How about yourself, Kanaju? How do you feel about the building aspect of the game? Is that something you've done a lot of over the years, or is that something you've just sort of picked up recently and are trying to incorporate that into your channel?
No, believe it or not, the first DSTN video, okay, not the first, the second DSTN video I published to my channel. DSTN is like my pseudo org civ that I have in No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And I've
Okay.
had it for a while, quite a while actually. But the second No Man's Sky video I published to my channel back in 2019, maybe it was after Beyond, so it might have been 2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was a base building showcase of
Mm.
3 arcade cabinets that I had built in the game. They were all meant to be functional, but due to base limits, only no, I wouldn't even say that one's functional. They're all almost functional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all have idle screens, which is nice. But no, base building's something I've enjoyed for quite a while. But I never make it a part of my content because if I'm being honest, I'm pretty intimidated by a lot of the stuff the community makes. Like either the PC people with Blender or just like the really talented glitch builders. I don't know. Like there's so much excellent base building content out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like what I would make would necessarily contribute to it. You know, there are things I'm really good at, and that's not one of them. So I'd rather stick to my
Mm.
strengths publicly. Anyways, I do
Yeah. Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
building.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was just about to say, well, if you don't want to make guides about it, I think it's still something you can do, or guides or videos about it. It's still something you can do, privately.
Yeah, yeah.
Base
I-
building is, you're not alone. A lot of people have felt intimidated by old school builders or really talented people who have practiced the art of glitch building. I myself, I picked it up when Beeblebum was first building his stream, and I was lucky to learn some of those techniques, and he was making these guys, and I was learning them as they went. It's really intimidating, initially to see a lot of these amazing builds. And it's something that we practice in the Beeble Hive quite a bit, and something that when Beeblebum started his Discord, is he had this vision that he didn't want people to be intimidated, and so we praise all builds and support all people who are trying and learning and attempting to glitch build and all the different styles and types of builds that they do. Everybody learns at different paces. Everybody's skill set is a little bit different, and these are some of the practices that I carry over in my own
Mhm.
community of the cafe as well. Is it doesn't matter how big, how glitch built, how complicated your base is, because everybody puts effort into their base build, and we want to celebrate that in a small way, and congratulate each time that somebody posts a build. And because if you feel intimidated, all it takes sometimes is just a little bit of confidence or
Mhm.
somebody patting you on the back saying, "Hey, that was a really cool base. I
Yeah.
really like that idea," and try and compliment each build and each person who builds those bases. Um, because, like you said, that intimidation factor is a very real thing, and a lot of people they don't post their things, their
Mhm.
builds, because of that intimidation factor. They don't feel that they can compete. Blender is a really touchy topic for a lot of people. Um, it is a tool that can be used with No Man's Sky. Us console players, myself, I'm not sure. You play on PS5, Kanaju?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on console, we don't have the option of using some of those mods that PC players enjoy, and so we can never achieve those kinds of things. And Blender it's a tool that is used by some. I don't shame people for using Blender, but at the same time, it's really hard to hold yourself up to things that you can never achieve just because it has capabilities that console players don't have access to.
Mm.
And you kind of have to just sort of ignore what others are doing that are doing that. And I don't mean to ignore them completely, but like
Yeah.
ignore how amazing some of those builds can look, and just trudge along your own specific way and keep
Mhm.
bringing your own creativity into a base and do the best that you can. And and this is another reason why we really support builders of all types and skill sets in the Beeble Hive, because those builders have put in a lot of effort, and they don't have the capabilities to run those mods. Consoles, you're limited to a strict set of um, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? A strict set of I guess guide. That you can only do what the buttons will allow you to do.
Mhm.
There's no plugins that you
Mm.
can adapt your game with, and so it's really cool to see what can be done with some of those mods. But at the same time, if you can't ever achieve them, you kind of have to limit yourself to what you have access to. So um, I encourage everybody to show us what they've done,
Mm.
and compliment them as they go, and find something about each and every base which stands out.
Mm. Um, h- but
Cool.
if I doing my base tours, for example, I do notice, and this is the same for me, by the way. If I'm building, I know my limits. I know I'm good at the structural build. I'm terrible at decoration. I know that. So if I'm doing these base tours, I will also notice what you're good at and what is less your thing. And I'm trying always, if I'm doing a build and I see like, oh, this is very simple base, but inside there's some amazing detail, there's some amazing decoration or whatever, I will point that out. And definitely, because that is the style you want to go for. That is what you want to go. This is your style. Work on it. I think everybody has this unique way of building that they just need to figure out. And every build we've done so far has always blown me away one way or another. Either by decoration, by doing some ingenious small changes or merging. Yeah, I would say nobody nobody's a terrible builder. Nobody at all. Yeah.
That's a really good way of going about base base visits, and that's usually my approach to even
Mhm.
like playing games. A lot of times there'll be games, and you know how the internet is. They'll be like, "Oh, this game's trash," or what have you, and it's like a 5 or 6 out of 10. But honestly, I feel like almost any creative product that someone's created, if you look hard enough, you can see what they spent a lot of time and attention on that maybe they didn't have to. And when you start looking at those details, I mean, yeah, you learn to appreciate
Hmm.
almost everything people create,
Yeah. I
So
think it's also because you are a creator yourself. You are a developer, so you see way differently to a creation from another developer.
that's true.
Yeah. You
I
know.
do
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
pointless details.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, that's actually, now that I think about that, that's what most of my channel is, isn't it? Just zeroing in on specific details that
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have their own video.
But then again, this is what makes your channel unique, and this is the same like in base building. You know, you just dig in something that you know and you work on that. So I think it's what people like and why they are subscribed to you as well.
Hopefully, because yeah, that's about all I've got. So yeah,
Well, everybody has their own way of doing things, and each content creator is different as well. And um, do what comes natural to yourself, and the viewers they'll decide what they like and don't like, and they'll either want to watch or not watch. But the best thing you can do is be yourself, and it follows true with base building and other gameplay as well that you happen to stream. If you do things that you like to do, you're going to find yourself with a unique audience that enjoys doing those same things as well. And as Beeb said earlier, they're fiercely loyal. I'm sure you have a subscriber base which is very loyal to watching your videos, religiously every week that you put one out. And quite often you'll see the same names comment on your videos all the time, and those are the ones you really cherish. And they like the same things that you do. So stick to your guns, stick to what you like to do and what you enjoy doing, whether it's base building, gameplay, expeditions, all those different types of gameplay varieties that we have out there, because everybody's unique. And I think when you've got so many content creators out there, being unique is your best weapon, and your best thing that you can offer to people who are looking to watch something different, new, exciting, so on and so forth. So keep doing what you're doing, and then stick to your guns, because that's what makes you, right? And Beebs has his style of content, and there's so many other content creators. I won't list them all off because I follow an awful lot of them. But there's so many content creators out there, and I say the same to each and every one of them: is do what makes you happy, do what makes you have fun, because when you have fun, your viewers see that you're having fun doing it, and you'll find that it's a lot more rewarding for certain.
for sure.
Cool. All right, what do you think? Do we jump over to the base, the challenge base? What did you call it?
I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, it's I built it. I deleted my previous Grand Lodge. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I deleted it piece by piece, then built this on top of the old quote unquote foundations. Mostly so I didn't have to find a new place to build a power station, so I wouldn't have to do a survey. But yeah, it's a Grand Lodge that it secretly doubles as a puzzle, but
all right.
Primarily a public meeting space.
First of all, fingers crossed it renders in the last instance for me, so we don't have any issues there. But
hopefully.
So you can, if you go down, there is a teleporter. If you want to join, is it here in this? Is it this safe, or do you have to join another game?
Yeah, it's on this safe.
Okay.
If you don't mind, sorry about Beebs. I just wanted to send a quick invite to Kanaju and let him know I'm sending one.
Oh yeah, friend requests. Yeah.
I had trouble with the what do you call it? The friend code earlier on. So. You get lost in Beebs' base now.
There's a teleporter here.
Oh, there? That's main.
That's a wall for you too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whee!
What's funny is when I originally got here, it was there was a teleporter there, but
yes.
This entire thing was not accessible. So.
Yeah, it was just a giant hallway, right? I know. I have the same thing every time I come. I have to wait for the right version of this base to arrive.
I think I might have to just build a studio on a lighter version of because this is a massive freighter room in the back there. So, they have the big hangar in the back and then the engine room. So this is a bit of a.
All right. Well, we can always take the anomaly. Right?
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. still don't know what this giant thing clipping through the crater is.
Maybe a freighter? I mean, I don't know. I can.
It looks flat, so it's hard to say.
Are we next to the space station?
Thank you.
I'm not seeing what you are. It's clipping the crater, so I'm curious now. I almost want to see it.
No, the space station is really far, so I don't know whether it's
What
clipping.
is this thing? It's grown significantly in size. It's now eclipsing your entire freighter fleet.
That's weird.
Oh no, it's. Jeez, how big is this thing?
Is it an asteroid?
Oh, man, I wish I could describe this. Imagine giant flat plane in space, but like the biggest flat plane imaginable, and it's gone. Make sure I saved that footage.
Yeah, no kidding.
I can make a video about it.
Yeah.
The 10 weirdest things I've seen in No Man's Sky.
Oh, cool. This is one of those systems with 2 planets on each.
Yeah, yeah. It's a yin and yang.
You couldn't see them because of the big green thing.
So first things first, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change my cape while I'm waiting. Can I get my this one? 50% unlock the other one. Okay.
Is that where we're at now?
Yep.
I haven't
50% for the
actually
second
bought
cape.
any the new things on this character, so you can make a good point here. Let's see what.
Yeah, they are, Joe.
Wow,
This is
I've got some grass.
it's the first one actually discovered in the Beeble quadrant. There we go. Save. You guys don't see it. I'm still annoyed with the fact that nobody sees my cape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. No capes are ever visible on multiplayer, which is a shame.
No, I almost made a video that was talking about the 10 quality of life updates that should have been included in Waypoint, and that would have been top 3 for sure. Because how are you gonna give us capes and then we can't see them in multiplayer? It kind of defeats the purpose.
And all those Vikings complaining about not having a cape as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is another odd thing. Sometimes I always just assume the best, and I usually assume it's some kind of strange technical limitation that they can put, this here but not there. Because
Yeah, I
there's
don't
so
know.
many things that if you were to just like apply this to another situation, it would solve a lot of problems, but never seem to. And I'm sure they get
Yeah.
Zendesk requests daily. So
Yeah. Capes.
it must
Yeah.
be.
There's a few things which are, you kind of scratch your head, like all the extra emojis we see from the NPCs, and yet we don't have access to them. And it would be a simple flick of the switch for them to implement them and have us buy them in, the Quicksilver synthesis bot here. And another really interesting thing are those. Have you seen those ball ships that have been going around the community?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so people can see those ships. They don't have wings. It's as they are in the community. You can see it in multiplayer exactly as you get it without wings or anything like that. Why can't we see capes if we can see these ball ships? It kind of makes me scratch my head. Why is that not a thing? Because capes are that's an in-game item you're purchasing with Quicksilver. That should be, a given. It should be something that's
I think they
fixed
have
and
some
worked
serious
on.
issues. It's probably like massive big sheets floating around in the anomaly.
Yeah,
it
I'm
must
not
be-
sure.
It must be performance because I mean this is the only physics-based cloth in the game.
Yes.
I believe.
Just let us
and
know, by the way,
maybe-
Kanaju, when you're there. Just let us know when you're in your base.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, see, it must be something to do with how they render this thing. Like maybe they don't have the capability to render more than one cape. Because Nada has a cape, but it's not physics based. It's just kind of
Yeah, it's
he
flat.
doesn't
Yeah.
walk around. when he bows, it just kind of lifts up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same performance or movements as the capes that we use in the game that we see on our own character, but nobody else seems to see, which is really kind of strange. And that's the funny thing is, if we can see these crazy ships that are out there, why can't we see capes? So it kind of makes you wonder why that is and what problems that they're facing in getting those things to render on multiplayer.
Especially, the thing is, there are certain things where it's like, oh, you can only see, screen space reflections on certain systems. That makes sense, right? So you
Yeah.
would think, at the very least, you could see capes like on PC. Like, they would enable that option for like ultra settings or something. The fact that it's not available for anyone is just such a strange decision.
It is. There must be some kind of a coding error, which is, restricting access to those being seen in multiplayer, and they just haven't been able to solve it and implement it in the game. Maybe they're waiting for the next big update. It may be a bigger code file. Who knows? But
If you think about it, we still can't have two freighters in the same instance. Like, they've given us the ability to send yours away so you can see another person's.
Yeah. But now you can call them in. At least you can call your own freighter in when there's another one. So.
Oh my. Yeah, it took so many years for them just to do that. You know what I mean?
I remember when we first got freighters, and you call your freighter in, it would crash a whole system. It would crash a game. Depending on what you had on your freighter, how many of those frigates that you had. That was one of the things on multiplayer is we asked somebody to join us. We say, okay, well, don't call your freighter in. We want to keep playing because it would crash the game every time.
Yeah. I remember it took them years to fix the clouds floating through your freighter hangar. Oh my gosh, it took them, like 3 years to fix that?
Wasn't there a guy on Twitter they called the Cloud Guy?
Fix clouds.
That was a different cloud issue he was talking about. That's not even the same one. That's what's so funny.
Yeah, he wanted like more realism to the clouds or something like that.
Yeah, because the ones in the next trailer were like hyper realistic, and then the ones in game were like not. I just figured that was like again, it's just like a lower quality version of the same tech,
Mm-hmm.
No, it's
This
still
is really
volumetric.
kind of cool. A lodge up here.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I like how you've decorated here. It looks very warm and cozy, even though it's very grand and large, right? You got this table here, this great big table, and the fire places in behind it. It's got a really nice atmosphere. I like what you did with these lights that are hanging. They give off this really nice glow.
Thank you. Lighting was it's usually the toughest part
Yes.
of any build.
It still is.
And I was really happy with how this one turned out. I was surprised, actually. I don't usually get the lighting right, but thanks. I appreciate you noticing.
So,
Lighting is so
DG, does
difficult in
everything
this
render in
game.
for you?
It is for me, yes.
I'm
Are
missing
you,
like
I see
walls
where you
and a
are on
stair.
stream.
Wait, where is B?
He's down by the landing pads here, so.
I'm waiting for the
In
stairs
fact,
to
I'm
render.
standing.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm standing
we're
right in
standing
front
on
of him
the
here.
stairs.
Here, maybe if I come down here, it might help jog the stair rendering here.
Yeah,
I'll
or
just wait
that's-
with you for a minute.
Or what I can do is just fly out, warp out, and warp back in like usual.
Yeah.
Might help.
I know sometimes it just takes a bit of time. When you've got a large base.
Yeah, this feels like
it
a
can take
3000
about
part.
I tried to stay
Yeah.
low on detail. So I didn't go crazy with detail,
least the-
especially in the puzzle parts. There's no ornamentation,
The walls
specifically
are,
so that it rendered. But
the walls
I
are
guess
rendering
not.
in, so let's see.
I know sometimes I've had to wait up to 5 minutes. Certain bases that are absolutely ridiculous in size or complexity, you just kind of wait it out, and then it'll eventually pop. Other times you got to fly away and come back. It's really hard to guess whether or not a base is going to fully load for each and every player. Beebs and I were talking about that earlier about different render um, times. A base that I've built, he visited, showed a different render than what has currently been uploaded, and that's kind
Oh,
of weird and
oh,
frustrating at the same
just popped
time.
in. Just popped in.
Hopefully it's the whole lodge. Does it look complete?
It looks complete. I saw the walls popping in before the stairs, so I think we might be okay. Just that you know, these old legacy pods still have a serious issue with rendering. That's for sure.
Uh,
I think that's
Dang.
why they made them legacy pods.
Which is odd because I feel like they updated the appearance of them. Like they look
A bit flatter, yeah.
newer.
And yeah, a little bit flatter. I think if you look at, they lost a little bit of detail again.
Yeah, the textures on
Yeah.
some of the floor panels. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I've noticed that as well.
there is definitely more detail on these panels that they took away in the new parts. But okay, very fancy. I like the atmosphere here.
Let me pull up the stream. Let me see how much. Let me make sure it's rendering.
I mean, it's already nice like this. If I'm missing anything,
You're seeing what I'm seeing, Beep.
Yeah.
So if that's the right render, then you should be seeing everything that's here. Keep in mind, I'm on the same platform as Kanaju, and
Yeah,
often
yeah.
the same platforms will render much easier with each other, which is kind of funny because cross-platform PC usually has an advantage over that with high-performance graphics cards and whatnot.
Yeah, but there's definitely still an issue with the like server-wise and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's looking pretty good on your stream, I think.
You did a great job with these tables here, right? They're not the conventional style of table. You sort of built your own.
Thank you.
And they look really good. I like how you did that, using the small floors and the short walls here to create a little table.
somebody didn't do the dishes though, or do you still have to eat?
Let's just say there's some kind of material that's antimicrobial.
Okay, so okay. The
Hi-fi,
plates never get
self-cleaning.
dirty. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. The only problem with them is you got to eat your food fast, or the plate
Yeah.
will eat it for you. You know.
It would be nice if we could get smaller items to place on these food plates and bowls and dishes that they've given us in the game. That would be kind of neat. We've got all these craftable foods now. It'd be really neat if we could actually place those items on the table.
Like they clearly made all of the 3D models for the little thumbnails.
Yeah.
Shame.
We like a good bar.
Well, I like the back room here. This is cool. The little back room you made here.
Oh yeah, the storage closet without walls. Yeah.
Just like a hotel or
Hiding
lodge,
it,
right?
yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah.
put a makeshift wall. Yeah.
Technical apartment.
Nice touch. Yeah, that's a really nice touch.
Oh, and then I guess prior to the challenge, I should give you a little tour. So I guess this is the main hall, obviously, right? But then downstairs, since as I'm sure you saw from outside, this is kind of like a diamond-shaped structure.
Yes, yeah, it's almost look like an atlas.
Yeah, a lot like an atlas. So downstairs we have more rooms. Call this the Pioneers Lounge for obvious
Of course,
reasons.
yeah, of course.
VIPs.
It's meant to be a little bit quieter since it's assumed there'd be like parties and whatnot upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then through here we have sleeping quarters. So if you're coming to party here, obviously we don't want you drinking and flying, so you can stay the night here. Free
Nice.
accommodations. Then in the back we have the map room, since the DSTN is supposed to be like an exploration-based civ, so lots of maps and charts, data stored back here.
What did you do here? What's this? Oh, this is the... Are these the angled roofs upside down? I think so, no?
No, they're actually not upside down. They're right side up.
You know,
They're just
I'm hardly ever
backwards from how
using
you would
these
normally
wood
see.
ones, so...
Yeah, it's my first time using them too. But they made a surprisingly they were a good angle for this
Yes.
actually. So I was pretty happy with how it turned out since I don't usually do much glitch. I don't do any glitch building if I'm being honest. Mostly out of laziness. So if it's not part of the game's default sort of building tool set, I usually don't do it. But with these, I did a couple upside down things, but the walls are right side up.
Yeah, yeah, I do see the upside down triangle. So
Yeah, they
I will
don't give
say
us
there's a
reverse triangle corners. So
I wouldn't mind saying that there is an art form to building without glitch building, or as we would call it, the green state building. Um, Placing things in a green state. Sometimes you have to, be a little bit finicky and play around to find that green state and then place it. It can be a real challenge sometimes to build without the ability to glitch build and to make things look like they're almost like glitch built, or place things in a way where they're aesthetically pleasing. It's quite an art form, and I know a lot of people in the cafe are very much green state builders, and you get very, very good at it once you practiced it after a little while. And sometimes, I think some of the creativity shown in green state builds is at a little bit higher level even than some of the
fuck.
creativity in glitch building, because with glitch building you can just throw a wire in there or adjacency from one item to the next. But with green state you don't have that ability. So being able to get those parts in the way that you want them to go takes a fair amount of patience and practice, and a lot of creativity.
well, thank you. And I also think it's a credit to the game's uh, building mechanics that we can build stuff like this, pretty much in vanilla on a
Yeah,
console, without any mods or even without glitch building. You can still build something that looks entirely custom.
I did make
absolutely.
a few guides on how to build without actually glitch building, but you can still merge stuff together and things. Like using
This
the
picture's
under
the same
under
place,
the
right?
floor technique, so you actually merge things together without glitching. It's very interesting.
Indeed.
I like using as many techniques as I can myself.
Free
Um,
placement, for example.
well,
So-
creativity is hard sometimes to come up with something new. So,
So just
using
teasing
all
it.
the tools at your disposal.
I'm just teasing.
Here's my time.
It's the meme that going between you and me. All right, let me know what else do we need to see. Do we need to see anything else?
No, those 2 floors are all that are publicly accessible.
Okay. So
Um,
we have to start the challenge then.
Yeah, so basically you'll start here at the front door. The challenge is to make it to the inner sanctum within 30 minutes, which
Okay.
could be very easy or very difficult depending on if you pick up on certain cues. I've had some people solve it quite quickly. When I had my friend do a beta test, he solved it in like 2 minutes, and it was
Oh.
so frustrating because he found a back door in, so I had to
Ah,
seal
yeah.
some stuff. So
Sneaky,
luckily those
sneaky.
exploits shouldn't exist, but if by some chance you're loading in an old version, I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
But
could be.
I'm going to stay quiet because I've seen a little bit of it myself. So I'm going to watch
if you want me
Beebs
to,
and maybe help guide
if
him
you
a
want me to
bit.
start the timer, we
Yeah,
can
if
get
you want
going.
to start time, yeah, do go ahead, go ahead.
All
I'm
right,
not-
30
I'm not
minutes on the
saying-
clock.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm saying already, but I'm pretty sure there's gates, so the gates have to lead somewhere.
You love puzzles, Beebs. You get it.
I was already looking at the flags to see if there was any flags that were flipped around or different color, but
Yeah, I thought about doing some really intricate stuff with like numbers, and you'd have to put in certain codes and whatnot, but I realized that stuff is usually more frustrating than anything else. So I tried to keep it simple, um, not like anything where you would say like, oh, that's completely unfair.
yeah, I think I might already be looking way too complicated to it.
might be, but who knows?
Oh my god.
It is funny to watch you run around a little bit. There's got to be a way in. There's got to be.
I mean, there has to be somewhere a switch or something. I mean,
I'm gonna follow you around for my own video purposes.
mm-hmm.
Though, if you don't mind, I will probably use some of your feed.
No worries, no worries.
Cool.
I didn't record it, so I cannot really give any feed of my my own. You will have to record the stream, I think.
Yeah, I would pull it from the stream, and that's totally cool.
The door opened and closed again. What? I just entered the door, by the way.
Nice. All right,
Alright.
let me follow you in. It doesn't open on my screen when you do that.
Okay.
So.
There is Nip Nip. Do I need to get high?
You stole
It's not a requirement, but it is an option.
I'm assuming can we jump through these things? I don't know anymore now.
They're the most clear glass in the game.
Yeah. I always am
I
confused
think
if
they
there's
forgot
like,
to add
yeah,
fractions to them.
there's collision but no.
Mhm.
Whee! Intruder alert! Godverdomme, look at all these teleporters. So one of them, or all of them sent me here, I don't know. Although this one doesn't have a wire.
Yeah, I mostly just threw a bunch of teleporters here in case I needed to add some traps, but I guess I didn't need that one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
you could think of this as like a temporary fail state, you know what
As in the door closes while I'm going closer to it.
I mean? Yeah, pretty simple, right? It's pretty cool. You put a little proximity sensor, attach it to the door.
So I need to probably shoot a switch from here. Is there a switch that I can shoot from here?
Oop, it's a timing challenge.
What? It's a timing challenge?
Yeah, you just gotta get out before it closes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little maze that you've set up in here, where you have to sort of check each route to see if you're going the right direction.
Yeah, I need to find a way to be close to the gate then, but... Or does it open again?
It's funny. I built this and I found my own way out of it when I built it, and I was like, okay, so it's possible. So far, the 3 people who have done it, I've seen them exit 3 different ways. So, yeah, there are different ways to get out of this hole. I mean, all through that door, obviously, but 3 different ways to like line it up and time it. I've seen, which I find fascinating.
Maybe it's I'm just trying to see how far.
See, this is the closest I could get to
Right, got out. Sorry.
killing you, because we don't really have any dangerous traps in this game, so the best I can do is slow you down.
Oh, you need to talk to Christy about that one.
Yep, Christy is the murderer.
I thought I killed you the other day, but I was mistaken.
So I need to get into the inner sanctum. Sometimes I'm not entirely sure which one is now... I mean, when I'm walking there, I'm back outside.
Yeah, the trap takes you out, so you pretty much have to head back in.
Okay, so that means that was the wrong... Okay.
Yeah.
That was the wrong way. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
DG probably made it to the next stage.
No, I'm following around you guys a little bit.
Oh,
Let me just double check if
I
there's
didn't want to
another,
give anything away.
if there's another gateway here before I go back in that one. I mean, I think we should go back in that one, but yeah, I think they make it far enough so I cannot reach the wall, so there should be no switches anywhere here, I think. Well, there might be a switch in the kitchen.
by the way, you've made excellent progress. Still have like 23 plus minutes left. So.
I'm just checking here first before I go back in that door. But it seems like everything is blocked for me, so I cannot really access if there's another switch there. No. Okay, let's go back in. Alright, so we should not step into the teleporter. At least not that one.
Teleporters were not working for me. I'm not sure if that's a multiplayer thing or whether or not they're powered or not, or as decoys. I can't
They should
remember.
be powered.
Yeah, so
Or
that's,
I
that's
can
what I
watch
thought.
it, but I cannot step in the teleporter. Let me just quickly check if there's like another hole. Is there... Can I get in there? No. No? No. Alright, no. I don't see any other... I came from here now? Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
That is closed. So this looks like a dead end. Wait, yeah. I'm hearing balls falling.
I must say, you're the first Gek to attempt this, so there's a part later on where you might be able to fit into something that normal
No,
players can't.
the hitbox is the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like they used to be smaller though, didn't they?
I'm just trying to see. I heard balls falling, but maybe it's because... No? Okay. Alright, this seems to be like a dead end. The only way I can go in is the trap. Okay, let me see if there's anything in the ceiling before I run away. Alright, let's go back. So this is a dead end.
Feel like a game developer watching a beta tester, just waiting
This
to
is-
see how you're gonna break this. You know what I mean?
I'll just go out again. So this seems to be the wrong door then.
Gosh, I always fall off of that.
Now I'm looking for the same mechanism, which might be probably totally wrong.
Wait, is your player marker is hidden, right?
I
Sorry,
don't know.
don't let me distract you. Just wondering, because I lost track of you.
Show... There we go. Friends only, groups and friends.
Cool, okay.
I'm kind of unsure now. Now that you have hit one switch in the wall, I'm now looking to every wall. So that the only gap that I can find is that one. Just gonna check if there's anything. Somebody's shooting something. Where's DJ, by the way? Ah, he's down there, okay.
I don't know where he is. He's way ahead of us. Or outside, one or the other.
I'm not outside yet. I'm sort of waiting for Beebs to sort of make his way where I am.
Did you make it into the sanctum?
I think I did.
I'm assuming that I don't need to go to the Pioneers base now.
Pioneer's base?
Here the Pioneers launch down.
No, I would say the entrance to the sanctum is in this main hall.
Okay. Damn it.
But yeah, DG, if it looks kind of like ritualistic, maybe with some fire, it's probably the base.
Okay, so I think that's the only place I got in through. There's no switches, there's no buttons elsewhere that I at least found. And there's none that I can reach. I did
Not
see
entirely sure.
this. I did see something green glowing somewhere, but I couldn't activate it.
I'm not entirely sure that the power flow is working for me, so I'm not sure if I've done it correctly.
See, there is like a.
see.
But so the only way we can get this is this way. I have. Let's go back. We have one power switch now. I don't see any other power switches. Okay, let's go in.
Where are you? Oh, I see you. Okay.
Is there a gap in here that I didn't notice? No.
I have to say you're still doing quite well. It took Zoo a while to get past the nip, believe it or not. Thought it was a dead end.
Well, yeah, and I'm thinking you have another gap like that somewhere.
Perhaps. I do
Perhaps.
like to use the architecture.
But I don't see a gap here. That's my. I mean, and there was no gap there.
There's...
Oh, I see it now. You little, you little sneaky.
Not me, never.
You're so close, Beeps. You're so close.
I was focusing on the teleport instead of on the walls. All right, let's do my old technique, and it's just walking to the left, left,
It's foolproof. You can solve any maze with that technique.
Left. I mean, let's just go inside. You never know. There's another sneaky gap in there. This Kanaju on my heel.
Yeah, I know.
Getting
Like an
nervous.
NPC that's like stuck to you.
I'm getting
following
nervous here,
you.
guys.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Okay, there's a hole here. Hello.
Nice. Yeah, DG totally reached the sanctum. Very sanctum.
Hello.
So, now that you've made it
There-
here in 14 minutes and 50 seconds, essentially, pretty good.
Noise.
Yeah, 15 minutes left for 2 secondary objectives. Those would be escaping the sanctum through a different way from which you came, the actual exit, and then the bonus objective would be to find my personal quarters, which are also hidden
Okay.
within this building.
So
But
I'm assuming that either the exit is going to be behind there somehow.
yeah, the exit to the sanctum is within the sanctum itself.
Yeah. There's a serious teleport cable here.
Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it?
They should have been part of the cloaking device. There's a proximity switch there.
You would
No.
think, right? It's one of those
Exactly.
things where if they just applied one thing to another thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's a teleporter there.
Yeah. Cool. So you actually can't get out of there, huh? Even as a Gek. That's cool. It's like an invisible wall.
You mean in here?
Yeah.
No, no, no. The hitbox is the same. We already, Action Pants and myself really have been doing a lot of sneaky stuff. I found a teleporter down there. But let me just, before I go down there, we have a...
Yeah, teleporter down here isn't working.
Yeah,
for
let me
me.
just put on some lights. It's too dark.
It's on for us.
Is it?
Probably lucky, DT, because some of these teleporters, some of them are traps.
Some of them are traps.
Yeah, some of them. Not all of them. But some of them.
Don't trust teleporters.
Yeah. Now I did find a couple of toggle switches, but they weren't working for me when I toggled them. So I don't know if that's a part of the decoy, or whether or not that is what activates it.
Depending on which
I
toggle
heard
switches,
another.
it might have.
Well, there's one under here where Beebs is. You can
I just
access
opened
the toggle
something.
switch.
I just opened something. There was a toggle switch here, which opens something, but I cannot see it.
Then there was another one up here which I hit, but that wasn't. Nothing happened when I did that, and I'm pretty sure it did because I did watch that on a Zeus stream. So I'm not really sure if I'm just doing something wrong or if...
So I cannot reach that door anyway in time. So it probably is going to be an access from somewhere else. I do hear this ball falling every time I'm passing by here.
That's my ship falling on you.
Yeah, I saw it parked outside. It really does render for everyone.
It does, yeah. And all of those ships do, which it was a surprise for me when I first saw them. I thought, no, well, that's just, it only renders for one person, you, who has it. But no, they do. They fly okay. They're just like, any regular ship.
Yeah, I thought the same thing about when they first had those like not modded in, but like kind of glitched companions, like the companions that are normally tameable, like the birds and whatnot, and then they just work fine on console. Like game's able to do that, but
Okay,
just not.
Let me just watch the other side first.
So the toggle that was underneath where you were, Beebs, that's this one here. But nothing happens up here when I'm up here, so I'm not really sure. But there's another one as well.
This is where I came from.
And that one doesn't work either.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah, the door opens, see?
Oh yeah, see, it's already open for me.
So you have
interesting that opens on my screen, but when people opens the door, I don't see it. Is that a crossplay
Can I
thing?
shoot from here? I can shoot from here. If I do this...
Hi, little cat. My cat's climbing on my lap. He has claws.
So that one, but I don't think this is the inner sanctum exit.
That could be.
Yeah.
The trick is figuring out how to exit. Knowing what you know.
Hotver. Just sneaky DG. Just. I just need to be.
Again, this is interesting because nice. Now, before you exit, you want to come back in. You can still try and figure out. You solve that in about 5 minutes, so you have 9.5 minutes left.
But
if you want to use those 9.5 minutes, you can complete the final objective, which is finding my personal quarters. And that button in there should open the door as well. So
Yeah, so that's how you get back in and out.
So the
Now,
personal
the
quarters.
personal quarters, I don't believe I ever saw, so that one's still a challenge for me.
Yeah, Zoo decided not to attempt it on his stream, so it would remain secret. Beeblebum, you have 9 minutes. I mean, you could probably find it in 9 minutes.
I cannot get in here, so how did I get
No,
in
I
the other
can't
one?
get in there either. Oh, you talking about over here?
But
one
I
here?
did get in the angle last time. How did I get
Right
in?
here,
Ah,
right here.
here, yeah.
Look.
Yeah, that one I got in. But how did I get to the other side? That's the...
So there's that other button that you can press. But for me, it doesn't do anything. But it might for you.
Initiate spherification.
This day, I wonder who wrote the text for that button.
How did... Oh, there's another goal. Okay, there's another goal here. Alright.
Oh yeah, believe it or not, there's a lot of empty space here for me to build secret things in the future, so
Still a dead
I'm
end.
looking forward to it. Yeah, there's also a lot of dead ends. You can almost think of this as a maze 2.0.
So I did find a secret room, but it's not the one I need.
The only secret was disappointment.
So, but I did find something, at least to me. Alright, so we got this one, then we have this side, and now we have the other side. Let me see this side here. This is where I came from. This is where... Okay. Oh! I found teleporters. Which... Okay, so I cannot jump down here. There is a ball blocking me. Go away, ball. How do we get rid of that ball? Maybe.
Yeah, that's another thing I love in video game architecture. When you have inaccessible balconies that are secretly accessible by another means. So made sure I included a secret balcony.
Is this because I'm... How can I get this... No?
A sphere is part of the puzzle to get in.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to walk in one of the teleporters and get stuck downstairs. Ah, there's another door there, another button there. See, but look, Sean, I'm left-handed. See, and now I'm stuck in a weird camera mode.
Ah,
Sean, I'm left-handed. I want my gun on my left.
would be a cool feature. But
Cause
So,
see,
yeah,
now,
this is that switch that we were shooting at down below.
yeah, but there's another switch behind there, but I cannot reach it. You see, behind the sphere, there's another switch. Not here, but behind it, on the wall behind it.
Somehow you gotta get that ball out of the way.
Yeah. This proxy switch seems to be the reason for this sphere, I think. There is... Let me see, what is there behind there? Sphere location... Oh, wait, can I? Yep, okay.
nice.
Got in. Godver... Stupid teleporter brought me back.
I can't even get past the ball.
If you sneak behind the ball, you will see initiate spherification. You press it and you jump inside when the ball is respawned.
Yeah,
super
I'll be honest with you, Beeblebum. Those buttons inside that room, they were mainly there just to hide the initiate spherification, so that your UI wouldn't pick it up immediately.
No, okay. So I'm now stuck in this room with this stupid teleport. Oh, well, there's a carpet here.
Yeah, I'll press the button and it unfortunately it doesn't
I see your room,
do
but I
that.
cannot get in. Why?
Because it's private.
Oh, toggle power flow. Oh. I'm inside. Yo.
Congratulations. You have officially beaten all 3 objectives in 26 minutes and 20 seconds. I
Nice.
think that's a world record. No, well, oh no, Nolopata might have beat you, but yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
made
was-
it through that thing like instantaneously. I was surprised. I almost feel like they weren't even rendering on his screen or something. 'Cause he just...
The thing is, I'm thinking way too complicated when I go into these escape rooms as well. I'm already starting to think too intricately for what is actually very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm stuck by the it's not flowing, unfortunately. Congratulations, Beebs, you made it.
Yeah. Ah, and you've made it to my secret entrance as well. This is my shortcut back in.
There we go. I made it through somehow.
So, yeah, but I intentionally made the secret entrance my back door in. It's still pretty complicated to get into.
Well, you know the combination.
Yes, precisely. But it's easy to get out of, as you saw. In case the floor doesn't render, someone teleports in, they fall. Yeah. But,
Very cool.
oh, thanks, man. Good job. Less than 30 minutes, you found all 3 secrets. So far, I should add more secrets to all those extra cord. Actually, technically, well, no, maybe you did skip that. There was another teleporter, but that you
I
walked
skipped the
past.
2 teleporters that were standing in front of the door because I didn't trust them.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
found.
there was another teleporter within some of the side corridors, but it's good to know. It's good to know that one was hidden. It was actually a trap teleporter, so
I might have
I
seen
wasn't
it.
sure how obvious it was, but I
Since
was
I've-
hoping it would be secret enough that if someone found it, they would be sure it couldn't be a trap, you know.
Since I've was trapped in the first teleporter, I decided to avoid all of them.
That's fair, except for the last one that you did walk into, assuming it was safe, which it was.
Very nice. Yeah, my maze was not that complicated. Well, there's I don't know. I don't know if it still works though, because yeah, I don't want to share it. I made a maze with different levels where you have to use the sphere to get out.
Ah,
But there's
Very
one that you need to use something that only allows you to get the sphere in a certain location, but I don't want to share it here on the stream. I think
no,
CG
I
tried
get
it.
ya. Yeah, I once built a really complicated puzzle cube that took advantage of as many mechanics as I could. And each level was a different theme.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be like a city or a bog. And the top level was a pyramid. And the thing was, you had to roll a sphere up all the way to the top of the pyramid. So it's like a step pyramid. And at each point, there are things that could like knock it off, or like trap doors that would open. You'd have to get it to the top of the pyramid for it to open a door in the ceiling. And I love that, but it just didn't render for anyone. I tried to bring Zoo to it, and he couldn't see any of it. So that's why I built this, because this doesn't have too many moving parts. It's relatively simple to render. It has a better chance of people actually seeing it. You know?
I think my cape got stuck at the door and is cut off.
Your cape?
Yeah, the cape is cut off. I think it got stuck in the
Oh,
door. Can see it on my stream.
Oh man, let me see.
Beebs, your underwear is showing.
We can see your
I'm stuck
underwear
under the
from down
ball,
here.
unfortunately.
We can see
I
your
can't get
underwear
out.
from here. If you know that song, no?
This first time I did this with my friend, he showed up eventually, but his character was moving at like 5 or 10 frames a second, but his jetpack trail left like a cool Tron trail.
Uh-huh.
So everywhere you went, it looked like, you know, we're in Tron. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
It happens when you come into my freighter as well. I see the green
Can I have a cookie?
beam.
Ah.
I actually I activate the sphere while I was looking inside the doorway, DG. If you
Yeah, it's hit or miss for me trying to activate the sphere
Yeah.
generator, because I can toggle the power, but sometimes it works. Like it worked for a brief second and then fell on me, so I couldn't get
Yeah.
out again. But yeah, No Man's Sky and the power sometimes is a little bit finicky.
Yeah.
So now I'm just trying to get through the ball if I can. Oh. See, I had it, and then it falls on me again. I'm trapped.
Where's my cape? Damn it!
Yeah, I see your stream. That's
just-
interesting.
There it is. Cape is back. I mean, such a
I can
nice
get on
cape.
top of it. Over here.
Yeah, I think the way the cape falls and stuff probably is very hard to render in multiplayer. I don't know. You get these weird, like, you know, stretched capes like over the whole.
Yeah, maybe that's the issue. Two capes colliding with each other. Maybe the game doesn't know how to
Get stuck. Get
deal
stuck.
with that. Yeah. Imagine it just bricks consoles.
There
As
we
soon
go.
as they touch.
Watch out with the teleporters, DG, because you have to do it again. If you...
I think he's safe from the teleporters, to be honest. Don't see
Yeah,
him
I managed to get away
teleporting.
from the teleporters. I was just trying to get through the ball. I couldn't access the sphere generator to get away from the ball, and finally it worked for me just enough one time for me to bounce out, so I got lucky there.
Nice.
So now I'm just going out. Let's see here if I can remember how to go. Here we go.
Giving it a shot, you know.
Well, that's half the fun.
And it's also an honor to have you visiting my base, Beeblebum.
It's really cool. I love the base.
Thanks.
Looks cool, and it's also is very what you call it? Exciting. I should have seen that. I should have seen that trapdoor there and known that there was a. I should have landed here and then see the trapdoor and say.
See, I was very kind, because some people that attempted the challenge, they did come outside looking for like oh, maybe it's actually, you know, on the outside. And they saw this door, and I put like a skull and crossbones and like a radiation, so it's like I'm trying to tell people that it's a trap.
Yeah.
Don't go in, but I think some people think I'm lying. So,
Well, you know, which is it's expected.
my traps are very honest.
Honest traps.
Yes, of course.
Quote that one, Beebs.
Honest traps.
I just want to take the opportunity to say hello to everybody on stream. I have not been keeping up with chat.
Me neither.
I tend to sort of focus on one thing or the other when I'm doing Studio 16 with Beeblebum. So I haven't ignored you all. I just unfortunately I can't type and keep up with the interview at the same time, or the interview process.
No.
But hello everybody who was there: MSG, Jeff, Dave, Auntie, Sam. Boy, Sazable, so many names watching today, but I just want to say hello. Hi, Joe, and Typo, and all the regulars that are out here. Ace, good to see you all. Thank you very much for watching us struggle through the maze. To be fair, I knew some of it. I didn't know all of it. So it was good for me to take myself through the challenge as well. Thank you very much, Kanaju. I really appreciate you
very cool.
showing up.
Really enjoyable.
I love the style and the design, the Atlas symbol or the Atlas diamond. I've built a couple of bases using it as well, and it's a very pleasing look to do it. And you can do it lots of different ways. The game and the mechanics and the parts that they've given us have given us options to create it in a few different ways. So it's really kind of cool to see how you design yours.
Thanks.
I'm doing figure eights around us.
Yeah. I was doing like a infinity symbol.
All right, I think we can jump. Yeah, if there's anything else you wanted to show here, let me know. Otherwise, we jump back to the freighter.
No, nothing at this base. I mean, you've pretty much uncovered all its secrets.
I
at this point.
called in the freighter here, so we can actually just fly to it if you want to.
Cool. Let me make sure
Oh.
mine's not around.
I'll use the
What happened
teleporter.
to you? Disappeared. Oh, there you are.
Is that Zoo Games? No, that's Kanaju. The link is upstairs if you want to go and check his channel out. He's on YouTube. He's doing a lot of fun and very interesting content if you like No Man's Sky. But a little bit more unique. Definitely go and check it out.
Thanks. And yeah, Zoo and I both have the green hood and cape going on. So I can understand the confusion.
So are you aboard the freighter?
Yes, I'm on the freight. I hope it renders in for you guys now.
Let's see.
Yeah, the last time, remember, it didn't render out, and I came back the second time. I had to wait for about 20 minutes out front.
I think when I got some time left, I'll build a studio and I'll build it low orbit so that there's only 3 landing pads.
Oh yeah, you have a generic freighter base at the moment.
It's
Wait
annoying.
a second, but I can. This is one of those ones I can climb out of, though. Just climb out.
Alex, that's okay. The fact that you missed it just means that it's a challenge for you when you visit it yourself.
Yeah.
Beebs, did you want to show the glyphs on stream so that others can come visit the space?
Do I, or do you want people to come and check your video first?
You make a solid point there.
I mean, I guess you can share them. Doesn't really.
All right.
Oh shoot! I fell
here.
through the floor.
What is this? Is this
dear.
Euclid? Is this Euclid?
Yeah, this
Yes,
is Euclid.
Okay. You
I'll be
guys
waiting
can
for
see.
And I guess
some
I have
rendering.
the coordinates on my website anyway, so it's not like.
Yeah, but
secret.
you want people maybe to watch your video, so they kind of watch your video and then get the glyphs.
Do we have a
yeah,
link to your
yeah.
website?
On my YouTube channel, it's deep dash space dash travel dash network.com. It's
Let me just
very
canal.
SEO friendly, very
Yeah.
person unfriendly.
You should check my you should check my website. It's beeblebum.com.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Well, I haven't kept up with my DSTN website too much. in the
Official
last
website.
year.
I'll just drop the link in the. Although it's called
Yeah.
Christopher,
Unfortunately,
it's
I
called
need to wait for
Christopher
rendering.
CC. Is that the one?
Oh yeah, that's my, I guess my personal visual
Because
website.
that is in your YouTube.
Oh yeah, I guess I did switch that because I started updating that one more frequently. Yeah, it's two different things. The deep dash space dash travel dash network.com is
Let
like
me
my
just check.
Civ, and Christopher CC.
Ah, there. Okay, I'll drop both links. So this is the Christopher website, and then the Deep Space Net blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah blah.
Yeah, this is it's definitely not reminding friendly. There, that's the two websites to Kanaju's websites.
I'm going to drop out and come back and see if maybe your freighter will load for me.
I have to say, this is a very nice studio.
Mm-hmm.
In person and with all these screen space reflections, it's very nice.
Yeah, and actually I had here all the television screens up flipped, so this was all like Windows, and then we discovered the cache bin glitch. Like, changing everything to Windows.
You know, I still kind of liked that older method of creating windows. It had a nice look.
Yeah, but
See, it
it was
loaded me outside of
terrible,
your frame.
terrible to look outside because you couldn't see anything from like 10 meters away.
I wish they gave us big windows like this by default.
Yeah.
Because they look so nice. I mean, the vistas you get in space, just
And the
They're not
windows,
quite the same.
the windows
Yeah.
are a little bit a pain, though. The ones that we have now in the freighter. We could go and check the. We can go and check the hangar if you want to go and check out the hangar, Kanaju. Well, DG is loading
sure.
up.
Oh, I'm back. It just unfortunately it's not showing any of your freighter build this time.
Oh, damn it! The doorway between the stairs and the hallway haven't loaded. So I see the stairs and this hallway works, but there's no opening between them.
Yeah, this is a too complex space for visiting, I think. I mean, there's
It's very
so
nice,
much
though.
stuff going on.
And I really like the green.
You can use
the teleporter work.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was just about to say you can use a teleporter. Can you walk through here?
Oh, this is also a wall.
Beebs, you trapped our guest in a box.
I can
This is
get out.
payback,
I can
isn't
get
it?
out. I just can't go in.
I mean, I don't think I can. Can I delete this now?
No, don't delete anything. You'll make it harder.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson.
I'm just checking if I can see outside. No, there's nothing outside. Yeah, I deleted the. There was a corridor that I hit because a lot of people got lost in here and they walked that way instead of going straight to the Studio 16.
Oh, I see. But you had such a nice sign. Say had because I can't see it. It is a nice sign though.
Beebs, do you have a restroom on your freighter?
No.
Use
Why?
a little boy's room.
You can pee outside over the walkway if you want to. It's a unique experience.
Yeah, but I'd be littering. It just floats in space.
If I would stay here, can you guys stay? Normally I can warp away. You should be able to stay in the freighter. Let me know.
Oh, yeah,
if
you
it
warp
doesn't.
to another system.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, I warp back to the system I came from.
Sure. I mean, it should. Yeah, I see the warp screen. And I remember during the next era, it was like a 60% failure rate
Yeah.
with friends. Oh man, my friend was always getting killed. Me too. I think most of my deaths on this profile, if not all of them, are from failed freighter.
I'm just trying to see if it now kind of forces to render in this base. It kind of clears the cache of the other base and...
Interesting. Well, now I have a different generic base. So. Ooh, what's that in the back? Oh. I think I'm getting ahead of myself.
Are you
Loading
getting?
from
Are
the
you
back.
getting to
Here we
the?
go. Yep, get loaded. There we go.
Where are you, Kanaju?
I'm here.
Oh.
Now, it
Partially
hasn't
loaded.
fully loaded. The studio isn't here yet, so I'm gonna wait on top of the command module over here.
It's too bad, no?
It's still loading in though, slowly.
Yeah, this is. I mean, this is like a massive hangar in the back.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
it's
it
starting to load for
slowly
me,
coming
yeah.
in. It's gonna look awesome. I can already tell.
If I can just sort of jetpack my way in.
I mean, you can build on your freighter. You can build 16,000 pieces if you want to. There's no limit. So.
Yeah, that is kind of. Yeah, unfortunately, it still goes against you on your part count. I think Enra Silver found out the hard way that he overbuilt his freighter and doesn't have any room to get a save.
Oh, Kanaju is
Cost
blue
me
now. I
two
was
on
like,
one of my builds.
I was like, who is blue? Kanaju is blue now. DG was blue before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I left and came back. So. Oh, yep, it's starting to render and fill in.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we need to get landing pads in here. That would be really neat if you
I
can get
I
landing pads
I
in
actually
here.
can put landing pads in, but you cannot get your ships on it.
You can't fly your ships in?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
I tried. They make the animation sound, but they are not landing, so I cannot get my ships in here.
Hmm. That's a shame. I was hoping that the little green circles would show and you can land your ship.
No, no. And
I have
also
not
your
attempted that on my own freighter yet.
your freighter base doesn't render in until you land on your freighter, so... This is a good view, by the way. My god, look at that, huh?
I know, eh?
Look at that, guys.
I could have swore there was a door here last time. This one works.
Where are you? Let's see if we can find you.
I'm
Oh, that's a
running
window.
around on the platforms outside, but there really was a door there last time.
Let's see if I can make my way over to you and help you in.
Just take a screenshot of this. This is just a good shot.
Oh, beautiful.
The graphics are definitely, you know, improved on No Man's Sky, that's for sure.
You may find a little hole in the flooring or the wall that you can sort of pop through to these stairs.
What is... here you come.
There is a
Now
door
you're
here.
falling through, but there's no... Yeah.
Aha.
There you go. There you go. That's what I was talking about. That little hole.
I have no idea what you see, if you see actually the ceilings and the walls and the lights and...
See the ceilings and the walls.
Yeah.
Good.
Part of it's rendered and part not.
Wow, I even see the sun. 2 suns.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous view in space. I really like the. I like what they did with the freighter update, being able to build these new components and things like that on our freighter. I wish we had a little bit more parts to play with. I feel a little bit limited, but all in all, it was a really cool update, and it was refreshing to see new freighter parts implemented into the game. I remember back in the day, the only things that we could build in our freighters were the cuboid rooms. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
And, you know, believe it or not, they offered a lot of variety to base building on your freighter through the cuboid rooms, because we could make our own floors, ceilings, and stairs, heights at whatever heights we wanted to. It was a little draw inside because you were limited to the, you know, the colors that you could color the cubes. But I actually really enjoyed building on my freighter with cuboid rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this hangar is what causes the load as well. Like loading this whole thing in before the rest, and
There's a lot of pieces to this hangar here. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot
Yeah,
of lights
Really
and flames.
impressive, though. Wait, there's flames?
No, I put these barrels behind there. The orange lights are the flaming barrels.
I see them. Yeah, I wish they gave us just better lighting options, so we wouldn't have to use the most random piece parts to light stuff, like the coral or whatever, you know? Yeah, this looks great.
But yeah, no ships in here, so it's an empty hangar.
I'm just going to float here for a little bit. If you'll excuse me, I need to use a little boys' room. I'll be right back, folks.
Then we also have the engine room that I was working on, but this is pretty... I think I'm at the end of this base. I cannot really do anything more. That is not visible. The engine room is here, if you can see it.
Wow. Very cool. Very good use of these effects.
And Kanaju is obliterated by the warp core.
I'm always so nervous about using these exotic pieces because I'm always afraid someone's gonna steal them.
No, you cannot.
No.
You cannot pick them up.
Oh. Not removable. Neat.
So yeah, these are all the walkways and the floors that they are glitched sideways and upside down, and
Yeah, I noticed those. I mean, they make really good metallic surfaces.
Yes, I love them, and I love using them actually on the planet as well now with the glitch, Caspian glitch. Anyway,
I find of all the glitches that are used for base building, the Caspian glitch is probably the most finicky and complicated. Now I can do it, and once you learn the steps, it's not so bad. But it is still very finicky at times, and I find it even difficult to complete more than one glitch at a time. So it's a very slow process for
yes.
me, but it is a really neat thing. I found it's probably better aboard your freighter than it is on the ground because we're limited to base parts for our freighter on the ground. But on your freighter, you have access to all the other base parts that you can build with. So it's like it's kind of one-sided in it's best what it's best used for. But it's a really cool glitch to be able to add things to your freighter which normally you wouldn't be able to do, and vice versa on the ground. Landing pads and things like that are a little bit different. I've enjoyed making landing pads out of the platforms. I think that looks very sharp. But yeah, there's some really cool things you can do with that Caspian glitch once you learn how to use it.
Yeah, and if you wire glitch with it, actually, I've been really successful with wire glitching the Caspian instead of doing the universal adjacency.
It does work a little bit smoother.
Yeah, setting up a grid and wires and then just glitch everything on the spot.
All right, back to the studio.
I'm not going to say I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll just say most of that went over my head.
Just some of the techniques that are used in the glitch building arsenal. It's a little confusing at first if you're unfamiliar with how to do all that stuff. When I first started to build, it was really hard to remember all the different techniques. Oh no, I'm just caught in the circle. But once you get the hang of it, it works pretty neat, and there's a lot of things that you can do with it that really opens the door to your creativity. Excuse me. And I've enjoyed glitch building an awful lot. It allows me to express my creativity in a lot of ways I never thought before. So it's definitely something I've really come to really enjoy and love to do. And I like spreading the good word of glitch building just simply because it offers an awful lot, I think, to someone's creativity. After a while, I found my base builds were getting a little bit boring and stale. And so when I learned how to use it, it really opened the door and made things a lot easier for me to express that creativity in another fashion. But everybody has their own style, whether they glitch build or not. Where am I? I'm lost.
You can see my cursor.
Yeah, I'm just stuck in the loop of trying to get out of where I came, because I came in through a hole in the floor. And now it's all rendered in.
Are you in the engine room?
I am now, yes.
Yeah, here, DG.
Oh, I see you.
I think for me, glitch building has been a real good filler as well. When things are like slow or whatever, then I really could spend my time in glitch building. But the last year, since the Central update, did you fall to the floor again?
Yeah, it hasn't all rendered, and I went through a door that just took me outside.
Okay, DG, next month we have a base in the air, so without freighters. It's an adventure for DG every time, this Studio 16.
I bet. multiplayer's an adventure every time.
Hey, get out of my chair.
Oh,
Certainly could be.
This guy is just sitting in the host chair. That's unbelievable.
Well, you left it.
That's it. Yeah, I came to help you.
oh,
Oh,
my bad, my
rude.
bad.
Rude guests. Yeah.
Now, if I can find my way in, I'd be doing pretty good. Maybe this will let me in. Nope.
So, Kanaju, with you being like part of No Man's Sky since the beginning, do you like where they are going, or is there like something that you think like, you know what, I wish I would do an update like that or focus on this?
Well, I mean, I'm usually pretty positive with what they're doing, even when they do stuff that honestly I don't care about at all. I'm still pretty happy to see it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was that way about the companions update. I couldn't care less. I think that was the first update where I didn't boot it up the day of the update. I was just like, oh, I've got work to do. I'll check out those things, later tomorrow or something. And I mean, admittedly, to this day, they're still not that exciting to me.
No,
But
no.
overall, I'm actually pretty happy with where they've been going, especially in 2022. Sentinel was a great update.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they added a lot of depth to combat, a lot of variety to that. Um, New point of interest, new lore, new multi-tool type. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then Outlaws, new starship type, new space station type, new mission types,
Mm-hmm.
all that new stuff thrown into proc gen. That's awesome too. And then Endurance, new freighter variety, not only in the freighters you visit, but also like lots of new building parts,
Yeah, yeah.
which is really exciting. So I've been really happy. And then oh yeah, and then Waypoint, but that's quality of life. But
I
I've
think
been really happy with the
mm,
content
mm-hmm.
updates, I suppose.
I
I'm
mean,
hoping they do more.
it has been a controversial update by Waypoint, but I think it's leading somewhere. I'm still believing it's leading somewhere. There's no point in sitting here and complaining about it even more now. It's been now 4 months, I think. So get on with it now.
Yeah, and I was never upset about it
Mm.
personally. I actually liked the changes they made. But
Yeah.
no, I guess like I said, I wish they did more quality of life in it, if anything. Like I still get really patchy grass on
Mm-hmm.
planets and
Yeah.
poor frame rate and stuff,
It's
but
it's weird. I think PlayStation 5 has had and is still having quite some issues with like render and loading in. Which I expected to be gone. With PlayStation 5, we are on next gen, everything should be okay, but I don't know. It's
that's what's so crazy. When it first launched, the next gen update on PS5,
mm,
it was a flawless 60. Like no matter what was going on screen with weather effects and explosions and whatnot, it was a solid 60.
yeah.
And then over the years since then, it's like it's gotten progressively
No, no,
worse.
that's every time within every update, but it's weird, You would say next
Yeah.
gen,
Mhm.
but yeah.
I think because of the code is different than Microsoft's code, it makes it difficult for them to transfer over in the same fashion as it would for Xbox.
Mm,
I mean, it shouldn't be
I've
that
seen it
difficult. The PS4 and 5 are
very
also running
similar.
AMD architecture. I mean, it's not like the PS3, which was like its own, you need to take a college
Yeah.
course to develop for the PS3.
Well, I
Um,
think at this point they would have gotten the hang of it, and been able to seamlessly make that change. But it still seems to be a bit of a challenge for them to get that, everything working on crossplay properly. Um, Mostly the rendering is pretty good for me. Where I see a big jump in problematic rendering is the older generation Xbox. Um, Things will load for me no problem, but a friend of mine will load up in their Xbox, and they'll fall through floors. They'll have all kinds of problems. Um, Too big of a base will crash the game even. So
mhm.
it's one of those things where the older generations are definitely seeing the problematic affairs more than the newer generation PS5. I noticed it right away when I got my PS5 what a difference it made in load times, game renderability, even distance away from your base is a little bit
Yep.
greater before it starts to de-render. Where the problem I see an awful lot is between PC and PS5. Things don't load quite often the way it should load, or some things don't render at all. Some bases, will work and others not. Sometimes if like I've got this really strange bug, and I'm not sure if anybody else has this. If I've been able to build over my overall part count limit of 16,000 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that shouldn't ever happen, but it has. And the funny thing is, it will allow me to build past that point. And instead of just telling me you can't build anymore, it just stops rendering my bases, all of them. And so unless I start deleting those other bases, or deleting bases that take me below that 16K part limit, none of my bases are renderable to anybody that tries to visit them, which is funny because you upload them and you'd think that there would be like a list of the last uploaded base should still be available to see, but that wasn't the case. And so I had to start just deleting bases until I figured out that I was over my part count limit, because I just went through and counted the parts to see where I was at. And I'm like, I got 25,000 parts here. This no wonder it's not rendering. And I deleted like 12 bases on one save. I'm like, okay, well, that was kind of stupid on my part. But you see, you don't expect that, because you expect that limit to be reached, and then it'll tell you not to build anymore, like it has in my other saves. And so it was the funniest thing, because I'm like, well, why is it not rendering? Well, that's why, because it let me build past my part count. And that was a little frustrating for me, because I had some bases which I really wanted people to visit, and people were messaging me asking, why did you delete your base? I'm like, no, it's still there. And I'd go there and it's fine, and I'd invite them and they could see it while I'm there, but if I'm not there, they won't ever see it. So that was a little bit of a weird bug, and maybe my game is corrupted. I'm not really sure. But yeah, very strange. Hey, Beebs, if you pan your camera around the other way, you can actually see me.
What are you? We got a guy outside of the window. Kanaju, I think you got the stalk.
Yeah, it reminds me of Good Morning America. You always see them outside.
Yeah, they're all waving outside, making funny gestures.
So we have our host DG with us, of course. See if I can get you on the screen as well. There we go.
Oh dear. See, we like to have fun on this show.
I might have to install a door. Security, yeah, security.
Security door.
So yeah, it would be nice to have people in the stands, but we cannot have more than 4 people in a freighter anyway. So
Really?
Yeah, you can have more people in an instance, but only 4 on your freighter. Yeah,
that makes sense. Shame, real shame.
Well, technically 3, because you and 3 others, but
yeah.
So what? If you don't mind me asking, Kanaju, what is the plans for Kanaju's channel in the future?
Ooh. Well, immediate plans. I'm hoping. I haven't announced this yet. I need to announce these things ahead of time. But next Thursday, I'm hoping to do a birthday live stream. Since my birthday's next weekend. But I'll be busy all weekend, with birthday stuff. So I'm gonna do it Thursday.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go around and visit all the bases that are built on that same planet as the lodge. I can see from there a bunch of bases like in the periphery, so I'm gonna go visit those, and it'll be fun.
Nice.
But long term, like I said earlier, I kind of want to expand, not expand my audience past just No Man's Sky. Obviously, I love No Man's Sky, and I'm gonna keep making No Man's Sky content. But I also want to make Assassin's Creed and BioShock just as regular on the channel, because BioShock is actually my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
significantly even more than No Man's Sky, if you can believe it. All the No Man's Sky merch and stuff I have, like I'm like even more invested in Bioshock to
Mhm.
an obsessive, unhealthy degree. Um, so I want to make more of those videos, and then Assassin's Creed as well, because I just love historical fantasy.
Um, do you know if there's any like news about Bioshock making a second or a fourth chapter? I think there's three, in total.
Yeah, they technically announced they were working on it. Cloud Chamber Games, they put together a new studio to make it.
Uh-huh.
It's both the previous studios that worked on
Mm.
Bioshocks no longer exist.
Because I really did enjoy Bioshock. It was a really good story and gameplay, and I just like steampunk feel games.
Yeah, so they haven't announced the setting for Bioshock 4 yet, but whatever it is, I'm sure I'm gonna be obsessed with that and make that my personality as soon as
It's
they do.
it's
So
it's gonna be in space. I'm telling you already.
I don't think they will, simply because Bioshock. I mean, if they do, it would be like the moon, but
Mm.
Bioshock was a spiritual successor to the System Shock series, and those were
Mm-hmm.
both set on in space. So
Yeah.
feel like they might want to avoid that. Plus, Judas was just announced, by Ken Levine and his company, and that takes place in space. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they definitely wouldn't want
Yeah.
those
True.
to overlap. But
I mean, they've been working in. They worked on the clouds. They worked underwater. So I have like a feeling they should go like to space now.
see, I could see space. I could see underground, like
Mm-hmm.
big caves. I could
Like
see.
near the
I think
lava core.
some people said it could be like Antarctica, so ice and
Uh huh.
glaciers and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I could see that too.
Hmm.
Or even like a jungle of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll come up with something I never thought of, because I mean, before Columbia was announced, I never would have thought a city in the sky. You know what I mean?
True. True.
So, so you never know what they're gonna come up with. Could be in a volcano or something, for all we know. A good
We
place
have.
to hide a city.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. 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 And then I
but
think
yeah,
Assassin's Creed now is the Valhalla, and then the next one coming is what is it again?
the
Um,
Mirage.
what Mirage?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, Mirage. That's the one with back to the roots, no, back to the original storyline.
That's what they keep saying, but they refuse to show us any gameplay. So,
And then, but they're working on another one as well, no, a multiplayer open world one or something.
they're working on something called Assassin's Creed Infinity, and it's
Yeah.
kind of unclear what it is, but it's supposed to be kind of like their platform going forward for
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed experiences, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like Assassin's Creed Hex, which they announced for it, which we don't know what it is. It's something with witches or something. Assassin's Creed Code Jade, which is supposed to be, that's a mobile game taking place in China, and then Assassin's Creed, is it Code Red or just Red? That one's taking place in feudal Japan. So
Ooh,
they've
that's
got
nice.
way too
That's
many
interesting.
projects announced. I'm looking forward to all of them, I suppose. I'm a sucker for those open world
Just
checkbox Ubisoft games. Oh, very nice. Good idea.
Peeps putting a door in.
no, you can actually try. I think you can use a chair to get inside.
Oh, the chair. Okay, let's try it.
Ah, interesting.
Yep,
Ta-da!
there we go. I think it brought me in.
Beautiful.
There we go.
I mean, this guy was knocking the window constantly, and I had to let him.
Yeah,
You were watching that, were you? I was just hitting emoji after emoji out there, having fun.
all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to expand into those three games.
Yeah.
Judas, obviously. And actually, I'm thinking about doing a Let's Play series, which I've never done on my channel because it's hard for me to commit to playing a whole game
Mm-hmm.
content. But my wife sort of suggested I should for Mirage, so
Yeah.
I might do that. I might do that.
You do have to give it a unique approach though, because the let's plays are very hard to get noticed in YouTube. People are kind of fed up with it, I think. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, you need to give it an approach that is unique and interesting.
Well, I think approaching it I've seen so many jaded takes on Assassin's Creed because a lot of people are fed up with like the last three entries. They don't
Mm,
really care for the RPG
yeah,
open world version of Assassin's
I
Creed.
enjoyed them. Yeah,
And I actually love them,
yeah.
believe it or not. Odyssey, this is gonna be a hot take, so prepare yourself. But Odyssey is actually my favorite open world action adventure game of
All
all
right.
time. So
Odyssey is the Greek.
uh,
Actually, I enjoyed Greek, but I think for
Greek
me
one,
the
yeah.
favorite one was Black Flag. That was my favorite Assassin's Creed of all.
Black Flag, yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I'm actually replaying all of them right now. So I'm on Assassin's Creed Liberation. Next up is Black Flag, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Though I must say Liberation, I'd never played it before. I've got the remastered one. It's a lot better than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good actually. Oh,
Yeah, I have not gotten to Valhalla yet, so yeah. No Man's Sky is the reason for that, and now
oof.
Valheim, so
Okay, so Valhalla's great. Valhalla's great in its own ways. But it took me like 100 hours to beat the story campaign.
mm-hmm.
Just the story, and I wasn't doing all the side content, mind you. That story, I think it's supposed to take about 60 plus hours, and it's so unbelievably long. Uh, and it's such a ridiculously easy game too. I think I only died like twice
Uh-huh.
in 100 hours. I mean, I don't know. Valhalla's a strange one. I felt like they were overcorrecting because
Uh-huh,
some
yeah, yeah.
people had
People, yeah.
criticisms about Odyssey, and then it just didn't turn out right.
The top participation trophy people.
Yeah, it just I don't know.
No, but the thing is, I just like Nordic mythology, so Valhalla is still on my list. I just like it's one of my favorite mythologies, Nordic. That and then Greek afterwards.
Well, the mythology plays a lot into the game, so
Mm-hmm.
if that's what you're into, yeah, you might enjoy seeing their interpretation of it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the Assassin's Creed series, besides the hidden blade in the hood, which is I love that, but besides that, my favorite thing is just seeing how they interpret historic settings,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
cities, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
places like that. So that's what I love most about Valhalla. I
Mm-hmm.
got to visit, and of course they're not completely accurate at all, but just to see medieval towns when they still
Mm-hmm.
have like
Mm-hmm.
Roman ruins and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
integrated into them, it's just a fascinating like time
Yes,
to
it is. It
explore.
is history. Yeah. Yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to every Assassin's Creed game, if only for the settings.
Yeah, and the historical settings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so go back to No
Mm.
Man's Sky. No, DG.
Oh yeah, No Man's Sky. Let's talk about
What you expecting to happen in the next coming months? DG?
I expect a couple of little patch fixes that are kind of hindering the game a little bit. Um, I think there's going to be a little bit of a builder's update. I have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be some timing involved with some of the glitches, make things a little bit tougher. I think for the
Yay.
builders. Uh, well, yes and no. That I think sometimes that's a good thing. To find those Easter eggs. Other times, not so much. I think they might implement, hopefully in the future, possible more ship customization. That seems to be the next step in the route that they're going with customizable
Mm,
characters and other portions of the gameplay that is fully customizable now. So I think a lot of fans have wanted ship customization for a long time. There's a lot of pros and cons to that. I think a good step for HG would be to start, if they are going to implement that, would be the ability to customize the color
yeah.
scheme of your
Yeah.
ship and see how that works before they implement a full
Mm,
implementation of customization. Um, that's a touchy topic for a lot of players out there. Um,
yeah.
I'd like
yeah.
to see more variety of multi tools, more variety of ships, and I guess instead of making new ships that to give us customization seems like the easiest option for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could be wrong. They gave us solar ships not too long ago. and we never thought we would see, something like that implemented in the game. I think we all thought that customization would come first. So you never
Mm,
really know.
yeah.
And I mean, strangely enough, here I am flying around one of these ball exotics. Um, Perhaps that kind of thing might be implemented in the game, because if you guys can see it in multiplayer, there must be
Mm,
something in the code
yeah.
for
Th-
the
yeah.
game to do something like that.
And these things only got added lately, so this is something new. That always
Yeah,
makes me think like, okay, they are working on something.
yeah. Now keep in mind those ships that I'm flying around, you cannot find them
No,
just randomly out there. They are made in the game, and
they
there's a
are
program
seeds.
that runs
They're seeds.
with,
Yeah.
with the seed generator in
Yeah.
order to populate that in the game. But the fact that you can actually see it in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and it still functions as a regular ship, there's something there, which we haven't fully, explored yet. Myself, I picked one up because it suited what I was doing for a storyline that I've made, and just found that I kind of enjoyed flying them a little bit. They're different. When you find a different ship out there, you sort of run out there and grab it right away because it's different.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
if you play the game as long as I have, and as long as Kanaju, after a while, you've tried all the ships out there, and you're just dying to try something new.
Mm.
When the solar ships came out, I think we all ran out and grabbed one of each
Yeah.
type to try and because we wanted to know what it was all about. And I like the solar ships; they're pretty cool. They're not my favorite ship, but it is a nice variety in the game where we had no variety.
Mm.
In the past, for a long, long time, we had the same ships, and the only variety was really, you know, uh, color.
Yeah.
So you'd find that oh look, it's the same ship in a different color
Mm.
combination, and that was fun for a long time. But now that we have some newer ships out there, it's good to play around with those. Multi tools, they gave us a new multi tool. That's fantastic. I love seeing that. The what do they call those? The Royals,
Mm.
or exotic multi tool.
Yeah.
Fun, definitely. I would like to see some of those concept art multi tools
Mm-hmm.
we've seen around throughout the community. Some, they
Some
look like
unique.
experimentals. Yeah, very unique
Yeah.
looks would be
Something that
nice.
is unique to be found as well. I think that actually gives you again a purpose to go and search for it.
Yeah,
I think too
yeah,
much things are too easily
discovery.
obtained in the game. I think.
Oh,
I
very
agree.
much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game is about discovery, and we should be out there discovering more often. There's nothing quite like just warping around and landing on a random planet and just exploring it and see what it has to offer. Many people will say, "What's the same types of planets with just minor variations?" But I disagree. They may have minor variations around them, but I to this day I still see things that I've never seen before. A different variation of creatures, caves, just playing around,
Mm.
exploring. There are things out there that you can still see and explore and find, but you don't know until you really go out there and start exploring. And sometimes it takes a while. Multiple planets, multiple warps, different galaxies. But I highly recommend, if you're not one of those types that has seen anything new in a while, start warping around, and see what you can
Mm.
find, because there are things out there that you can find which are fun and unique. And I've seen many times streamers will talk. They'll have like a speculatory kind of stream, and they just run around and explore. And quite often you'll see creatures which are different than you've ever seen before, with horns or wings or legs or who knows what.
Mhm.
um, and that kind of variation, it's nice to see different things. We get comfortable with a lot of stuff that we already have and that we've seen, and then we get bored with the game. So exploring is a great way to see new things and have fun. And you might find a great place to build a base, or give you an idea of how maybe you might want to implement something that works with the land a little bit
Mm,
differently than other bases that you built before. There's lots of things to do in the game sometimes, and we forget that we can do all of these things. There
Mhm.
has never really been a game like No Man's Sky where you can explore one day, base build another, ship hunt, multi-tool hunt. You can min max your stats with upgrades. There's a lot that can be done with this game, and sometimes we forget that that you can have some fun doing other things as well. So um, definitely
mm,
get out there and explore, everyone.
mm.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add, or is this like anything you want to add to this, Kanaju, or an update that you would like to see coming?
Um, yeah, I mean, funny enough, I've had the same dream update for the last 4 years. So, I would love to see just planetary dungeons,
Yeah,
just like the derelict freighters we have, but on
yeah,
a planet.
mm,
Some kind of either facility to break into or
yeah,
ruins
yeah.
to explore, just some procedural
Yes, yeah,
architecture.
yeah. Um, I mean, and then I'm really up with that when you're saying the exploring. I think, and that's very important for them as well, is to fix a way that multiplayer is way more stable, and then add something that you can actually go and explore together, because that's
Mhm.
gonna add so much, content, fun to do things together in a. Because now you can explore together, you can fight kind of together, but the ships are not the same ships sometimes, or if you shoot them they
Mhm.
get damaged. It's there's no way to really enjoy a collaborative event. That's
The one
even the
thing that
even the
is
weekend missions are like still a mess.
One thing that is really nice though, is that I noticed after the Sentinel update, when my friend and I are fighting Sentinels, it
Mm-hmm.
will double the amount of Sentinels. So you'll
Yeah,
get two mechs, two walkers.
yeah,
So that's really nice. But
but
I
then
wish other things scaled
yeah,
similarly,
but then the wave will end for one person, but not for you, for example, because you are still killing your sentinels.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I noticed that. It's not like it's synchronized. So if one person, if you, let's say you work with four people together to kill the sentinels, each of them will have the separate waves to kind of disable sentinels on the planet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit of a I mean, you still will be attacked by sentinels as well, even if you disabled your sentinels. So it's a bit of a weird thing still. So I hope that it's more of a fix. I think it might be good
Yeah.
for them to just take a break of an update and say, you know what, we're not gonna update anything in April. April is the month of fixes, and communicate that with the the,
Yeah,
with,
like
Typically,
if
yeah.
yeah. Hey
yeah, because
hey
people
guys,
speculate.
we're taking a break. We're gonna be fixing a lot of the issues we had on Zendesk. We're trying to fix them at least. Just give people that information so that it's no like, oh, there's an update coming in April and blah 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 and blah 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 and speculations, and then yeah, the update comes and it's not what we wanted or wished or speculated, and that's the problem is most of the time.
Speaking of things I wish they would fix,
Hmm.
specifically, it's not quite broken, but as far as things that are in the game that should be expanded, I thought for sure in 2022 we would have gotten some update to settlements, just
Okay.
because they felt a little unfinished with
Yeah.
Frontiers.
Yeah.
Granted, Sentinel did add a trace of metal, which ties into your settlement.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there's really hasn't been anything new added to it,
No.
and
No.
I sort of view it the same way. We have base building, which is like a core game loop. We have starship combat, ground combat, but I almost felt like the settlement could have been like
Mm-hmm.
another almost full game loop, because
Mm-hmm.
it takes so much time to build up and manage, and you would think they would continue to add and develop, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that, but they really haven't.
No. I wonder
Well,
if
on
it's
that
like a
note,
test they do every time. They drop an update, companions. Let's see how they deal with it. It doesn't do
mhm.
that well. Let's not do any updates anymore. Let's drop settlements. Nobody's really playing settlements. Let's do sentinels. Ooh, somebody's fighting a lot of sentinels. Okay, let's do outlaws. So they kind of try to feel what's happening. Like the companions also didn't really get any updates anymore after companions. Bite beats,
Well, they
really
actually
minimal.
did. They added new types of companions
Yeah,
that you
as
could
the
have in
rewards.
prisms.
As the
In
rewards.
prisms you were able to tame flying companions,
hmm
which was over a year after they had added companions to the game,
That's
right?
probably after they saw all the
Yeah,
modded
yeah, and
flyings.
some of the creatures,
Well, the thing
like
is,
the rolling creatures.
Exomech was also updated in the Sentinel update, which was again a year after
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that launch. So I figured maybe a year after Frontiers we'd get an update to the to the
Yeah.
settlements, but that hasn't happened yet. So
How much time was there
Well,
between Beyond and
in
Frontiers? 2 years?
2 years, I think, something
Yeah,
like
okay.
that. Yeah, I think I'd like to expand and go back just a little bit on the settlements discussion, if you wouldn't mind. The You mentioned you had hoped for more expansion on the settlements, and I think that might be in the works. I've noticed in the game files, a couple of streamers that I follow found some hidden files with components for base building components that can be built that are settlement based base components. The
mm,
control terminal that you'd find in the office, and a few other items as well. And I can't help but wonder if maybe they're going to implement controlling your settlement from other places. So the ability to build these components in a base that is
Mm,
not your settlement, and be able to control some of the functions that go on at your settlement instead of
mm,
having to warp back, possibly even in your freighter. Um, Myself, I've always wanted the ability to hire one of the NPCs like you would, your base building missions, um, to hire an NPC to manage your settlement for you for a fee,
mm,
and so all those things that you were able to collect out of your settlement, for units and whatnot and resources, it would be you'd pay your manager, I guess, or whatever NPC that you hire to look after things, you would pay him a cut of some of those resources, or those would be reduced because he would just take a cut off the top kind of thing for his management fees. I think that would be an interesting way to go, is to be the ability to be able to hire NPCs to manage it for you, with the ability to make decisions, when you feel like it, and otherwise he would make those decisions for you, and
mm.
different decisions would be made based on the species that you
Yeah,
hire. A gek would be far more
yeah. Traits and
enterprise
yeah, yeah,
oriented
yeah.
in trade. Viking much more of a warrior aspect,
hmm
or Korvax, very scientific, and some of them would be bad decisions, and you wouldn't, you'd be left with either, had bad decision being made, and you'd be like, okay, well, this is no good. I got to fire this guy, um, and rehire somebody new, or who knows what. But I think the ability to hire a manager would be neat,
Yeah,
and the ability to control it from another location other than your settlement would be also a
yeah.
really nice
Like
feature.
freighter bridge or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That would be really neat, to be able to build one of those, control terminals in your freighter. And instead of having to warp back to your settlement, you're able to control, a portion of what some of those needs are at your settlement. Because, they're all, every time you warp away somewhere, you get another message. Your settlement, has made a decision. They want to do something, and you either have to go back there or ignore it,
Mm,
um, which leaves your settlement at a bit of a stalemate if you're trying to build it still. So that, I think that might be coming in the pipes. Usually, when they find code like that in the game, there's something to be had within the next couple of years. I mean, it could
mm.
be as soon as the next update, or it could be, a year down the line. Who knows? When
yeah.
we first saw freighter parts, you remember the video that you put together,
Uh-huh.
Beebs. Remember, there was elevators at one time in the game,
Mm-hmm.
which never really fully were implemented in the game. Now that may still end up being implemented. but there were freighter windows that were different than the freighter
Yeah.
windows that we have now, and other components that we saw. So you never really know until they actually release it. But they are a thing, and they are thinking of implementing them. So if it's in the code, then they're working on something
Mm.
similar to that at the very least.
I do want to get a little asterisk here, because the parts that were, I think it was Ricey or Scottish Rod that made a video about these new parts. These new parts have been in a game since Frontiers released, by the way. They just kind of are unlocked with the mods, and if you they kind of stay in your building menu even if you disable the mod. So I just wanted to make that clear. There is no new parts in Frontiers. They are still Frontiers parts. They were there already 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did post
I
that. I did comment it on the tweets from somebody, but I forgot who it was.
I think I saw it from Zoo Games, and you're right,
Yeah,
Ricey
it could
also
be.
talked
Yeah, it
about
could
it
be
as
Zoo
well.
or Scottish Rod or Ricey. I don't know. It was one of it.
Yeah. But interesting to in the least, if they're there might be something to it, the ability to build them, because it's only some parts, it's not all of them.
No. It's
See,
I know that somebody built the flags, but he could not delete them anymore and things like that. Forever there.
Surprise! Yeah. You can never get rid of them.
What you were saying, Kanaju?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that, like, if they added that, that would be great. But almost any expansion of the mechanic would be fine, because I suppose my main problem is that the settlement always feels separate from the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like your freighter, you use it to get around, you use it
Yeah.
to grow stuff. When you're on derelict freighters, you're collecting upgrades for your freighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then again with your ship, you use your ship to get around, your multi-tool.
Mm-hmm.
Even your bases, everything you have integrates with the rest of the game. But
Mm-hmm.
with your settlement, there's no storage. There's
Yeah.
no. It does produce a couple of products, but I never bother with those. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to think about your settlement when you're not there.
Yeah, it would be.
And I
It
just
would be
wish there was
nice.
something.
Kind of like have your settlement is training pilots for your squadron or something. It's something that just links up with the rest of the game.
It would be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, a teleporter is really the only link that we have
Yeah.
with the settlement. It'd be nice if we had storage containers. You build a storage room, and they would have the ability to access your storage containers,
Or like
like we do on
like an industry. You send up your copper and you say, I want you to make chromatic
That's
metal. Things like that.
That's the weird thing, is that, the buildings have specific types. You have
Mm-hmm.
warehouse buildings. You can't store anything in them.
No,
You know what I
no.
mean? It's like you have industrial buildings, but they
Yeah.
don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
the only things that
You
that
can-
function are the markets, because they have
Yeah.
the vendor and the trade terminal.
Yeah.
And that's really cool, because it's like, okay, now I have a, a components vendor that
Mm-hmm,
I can
mm-hmm.
teleport
True.
to at any time. That's valuable, but there's no other, and that was added in a patch after
Yeah. Yeah,
years.
it would be
Didn't
it would be
even
good
happen.
to have like a kitchen or a refinery room or things like that.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, we may see something in the future with the settlements that is a little bit more integrated. I'm hoping so as well, because like they were fun when they first came out, and now they're not so much fun. They're just there,
Mm-hmm.
and in some cases it's kind of a pain in the butt, because you have no interest in a settlement,
Yeah.
but you warp enough times on a new save, and suddenly now you've got they want you to build a settlement, and you can't get rid of that off of your mission logs. It's there, and it constantly pesters you
Stupid
until you
annoying
go and claim it, and
settlements.
you feel the obligated to build up your settlement and everything else. And so yeah, I mean, the ability to pick and choose some of the mission logs would also be a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
change.
Abandon a
You
mission
know,
that I don't want to do this anymore, or archive
y-
it.
well, yeah, like it may be in your mission log, but
Yeah.
it shouldn't it shouldn't pop up on screen
No.
after the first, once or two times.
Yeah.
After that, you should have the ability to click away from it
Yeah.
and not have it,
I
obscuring, other things.
archive the Atlas pad after I already done it, please.
Yeah, yeah. I've done it many times myself, and sometimes
Mm.
it's a pain when all you really want to do is something else, whether it's building or warping around or whatever, and then it just keeps popping up, as a fresh mission in a new system. You're like, "Ugh, no, it's another icon I really don't want to see on my screen right now. Can I disable it?" And then, unfortunately, that's not the case right now. Maybe in the future. Um, I agree with you, Beebs. It would be nice if they took a break from content updates and worked on some fixes and a few other little things. I'm looking on screen right now and I see a purple fire. I'm not sure
Yeah,
why that was ever implemented or if that was a mistake that they just forgot about and never fixed. Our fire barrels are regular fire color. I don't understand why they changed the fireplaces to a purple color.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have that as a
Option.
regular
Yeah.
fire
Or
color
an option
again,
to
or
change the color. Yeah.
yeah,
exactly. The option to change the color of the fire based on what you want. You can change the color of the fireplace itself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fire is purple now, which is a little bit annoying on some of the bases that I built and some of the future bases that I intend to build. I use those fireplaces in lots of different ways, and the
Mm.
purple really takes, I think, away from that in a lot of ways. So it would be nice to have the either option or put it back the way it used to
Yeah. Yeah.
be, because it just doesn't feel natural to have a purple flame.
No, it might be burning on a certain gas. I don't know which one, but you never know.
Yeah, and it doesn't integrate well with the fire barrels either, because having two different
True. True.
flames burning looks strange.
I wonder
And
if you could combine them. You put a fire bell under your fireplace to get like that yellow, purplish fire. I don't know.
it's two different flames.
Yeah. Okay.
I've tried it. Yeah. But like there's some interesting things that could be fixed that I like to see implemented. Um, what are some of the things that you like about the new update, Kanaju? Do you like the new supercharged slots? Is that something that you've gotten into?
yeah. I mean, I haven't. I'll admit, I've never cared about min maxing. So even in all these months since Waypoint, I haven't rearranged my tech. I'm using whatever unoptimized, poor performance layout I had when the update launched. But I am really happy about those, and
Mm.
I do like the consolidation of the tech and the
Yeah.
cargo.
Yeah.
I actually do enjoy the difficulty settings.
Yeah.
So I don't toggle them on my main game, but I gave relaxed mode a try when it first came out, and I used it recently. Because it's so easy when you're trying to get specific footage or move through the
Yeah.
story or
True.
do things like that. The story the first time I played it, it was hell because the sentinels would always attack me while I was in a cutscene trying to talk to
Mm.
Artemis or whatever. I'd have to rush because they'd go all the way up the tower and shoot me. And
Yeah.
you couldn't back then you couldn't change the planet, so like you were stuck on the aggressive sentinel planet for like 5 missions. And, it was really bad. But this one, it's so nice, and I can warp, and I'm not worried about things, and it really makes me whatever mood I'm in, I can play No Man's Sky like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's I enjoy the difficulty
Yeah.
changes. I like the trade rocket. It's mostly useless, but it's so cool, you know.
Been
It's
playing
fun,
around
and you
with
can
it.
throw a bunch of stuff in there, and I mean, you're not losing units either. You're anything you sell is just units to your
Yeah. Yeah.
character anyway. So throw them in the trade rocket and fire it
It's
off.
one it's one of those
I think.
things.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Sorry, no, it's one of those things that isn't necessary at all, but I feel like it's really good for immersion.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally what I would do with that is I would just send my stuff up to my freighter, or I would just delete it because I don't actually need the money anyways.
Uh-huh.
But with the trade rocket, you feel like you're doing something. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It's more about the fantasy of it, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Yeah. True. I
And it's
hope
kind of
that
fun too.
the challenge comes harder even.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people like the relaxed mode. I like to go to the other way. So I hope that they give us options to even start a game without ship or without multi-tool, or give us a way to really make it harder and harder.
well,
Mm.
what I really want is more end game content. So I
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate that you can set the difficulty to hard. I appreciate that there's permadeath. I already have a game that I've invested hundreds of hours in
Mm-hmm.
and upgraded everything to the max and S-class shields. Now I want to take that character who's maxed out
Yeah, yeah, true,
and
true.
challenge that character. You know what I mean? As opposed to the challenge coming from not maxing out my character,
Mm-hmm.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
true. That, but as I've really been enjoying these the runs, against other content creators and try to beat a certain time or whatever. If you really can make it hard, it makes it fun to make videos and streams and so
yeah,
hopefully one day we never know.
I think
yeah,
if they're going to make difficulty settings harder for things like that, it would come in the form of the customizable settings with a new
Mm-hmm.
setting of like impossible setting
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Um,
Insane.
because I think sometimes you have to be very careful what you wish for. And there was a lot of people. I won't say a huge number of people, but there was some people who did want more difficulty to the game. They wanted more Sentinels or more PvP. HG does listen to its fans in different platforms, whether they're sneaking a peek in one of our YouTube Studio 16s, or sometimes on Reddit or Twitter or whatever, and they listen to the fans and they're like, okay, well, you want more PvP? Here you go, and then they give us something, right? And it sometimes it's not the liking of the majority of the fans that are out there, and other times it is. And I think sometimes you have to be very careful about what you wish for, where that you might just get it and you might not
It's
like
good.
it.
It's good. I
So they've given things,
I
yeah, I mean,
mean
they've given
that
things in
that's fine with
difficulty,
me if
and
they
they
give
and
me
they've given things
optional end game
in the
content.
easy
You
way, right? But I know that a lot of people wanted difficulty settings harder, and they gave us that. They gave us exactly that with a customizable menu settings that we can change our game modes, and that did anger a lot of people.
mm. But that's the
So
problem. That's a problem that people are always looking to the other person's. That's the problem. That's oh, but this guy can
Yeah,
play on relax mode. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You are
yeah,
playing
that's
your
their own
game.
problem.
That person is playing his game. What does it matter to
Mhm.
you that he plays on relax mode and you're playing on hard? It's like sometimes.
well, some people see it as a
Yeah,
competition, and that's always a hard one to get
yeah.
get
Worst.
get your head away from.
Yeah,
Is it isn't a competition; it's an exploration
yeah.
game. Um,
Mhm.
there's some aspects of the game which I don't really enjoy as much as others, but others do enjoy those modes, right? And I encourage those people to play however way they
Mm-hmm,
want,
mm-hmm.
because that's what the game offers is multiple different ways of playing the game, whether you like it easy or difficult. Um, I know myself, I've only got one save. That is I played around with the difficulty settings where I disabled, Sentinels, uh, the ability to warp without needing launch fuel, or warp cells, just simply for ease of use. If I'm filming a video or something like that, or footage for a video, I don't want all that extra superfluous stuff. So I just
Mhm.
change that up a little bit and make it easy on myself, rather than fighting something that really shouldn't need to be there when I'm not really doing something game oriented per se, because it's mostly
Mhm.
for a video. Um, on the other hand, having your difficulty settings a little harder does make for a nice friendly competition as well. Seeing a lot of these speed runs that you and some of the other content creators are doing, Beebs, I think that does make things interesting and a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more fun. And the ability to change it is a really nice feature. And that's what I really like about the customizable player settings. Um, but you never really know how the community is going to receive certain things. Um, and this last update, it definitely taught us a bit of a lesson, that be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. Well, we got it, and then they didn't like it. So you
I
never
might
know.
I might wish for more. Uh, anyways, DG, what's your last question to? You have anything to add more, by the way, Kanaju, before we end off?
No, just give us more endgame content.
All right,
I want
DG,
a raid.
what's
I want an 8-hour raid.
that's Destiny.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Well, Destiny and No Man's Sky. There we go.
So I have a question for you, which I ask all of our guests here. And if you were to see, Sean Murray just walking on the street, is there anything you'd like to say to him?
Oh man. Okay, so let's see. He's walking on the street. Let's see.
No, you
Be
can't
on
put your
his
foot out in
phone.
front of
If
him.
he's on his phone, I don't know if I should bother him, you know.
Oh, you're so polite.
He's
Sean,
wearing
Sean.
sunglasses and a hoodie, even though it's hot
No,
outside.
he's open to conversation. You can talk to him.
Oh, very, very friendly of him.
See, now this is another part of the game, role play, right?
All right, which one of you is Sean? I don't know what I would say to him. Um, Funny enough, I mean, I'm sure everyone's thought about this. Like, what would I say to Sean if I had him on a Zoom call or something like that? I mean, there's the generic, obviously, like, thanks for making No Man's Sky. It's really great work. Um, Appreciate all the work you put into it. You and the team. But because I've always wondered, like, I don't feel like I'd want to give him any suggestions. Because, like, how many suggestions do Hello Games get a day? You know what I mean? Via Zendex. Like, hey, Sean, I have this great idea you've never heard before. Have you ever thought about ship customization? You know what I mean? Like, waste of time. Um, I think I would probably. How willing is he to give answers? Is he going to be really cagey about stuff if I ask about development?
I don't
You
know. I
think?
think Sean is a pretty open guy. I think he might even slip, the words. If you ask something, I think
He
he.
was open to
Yeah.
Nintendo developing one for the Switch,
Mhm.
so I would say he's pretty open in regards to development.
Hmm, I don't know. I
You can say anything you like to him.
feel like honestly, I would just like to know how he's doing. Like how much time he's spending on No Man's Sky versus like his newer projects. He's still excited by it personally because I know his team is, but I wonder what he thinks of it. And probably stuff like that, like a little more personal. Because I feel like we're gonna get what's in the game when we get it. You know what I mean? My
Mhm.
conversation isn't gonna change the
Yeah, yeah,
trajectory
yeah.
of No Man's Sky development.
Mhm.
So it'd just be kind of cool to see how he's doing because I feel like prior to launch, he was in so many interviews and he was so personable that a lot of people like they liked him as much as they liked his pitch for the game. And then since
Mhm.
it's released, there's been like nothing.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, I'll just see how he's doing.
Well, I
Good,
got to
good.
say that's probably one of the more original answers that we've had so far, and I really like it. Ask him how he is personally. That's perfect. I love that. I love hearing the different answers that people come up with. That one is ranks right up there as probably number one response. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, I'm
Thanks for
just
that, I guess.
thinking about that. It's actually that your cards were also put on the merch store. I forgot
Oh,
about that.
yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about that? How did you feel about that when it was? Because I have no idea how it happened. You just got suddenly requested to get
I wouldn't
the.
call it suddenly.
Multiple
Because
Zendesk
I
tickets later.
originally I designed those cards for the 5th anniversary and they didn't come out till 9 months later.
Uh-huh.
Um, I wouldn't suddenly for everyone else, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's good. I
Thing
mean,
is, I've sort of been told not to talk about anything
no. Okay.
that
All right.
wasn't already public. You
No
know what I
worries. No
mean?
worries.
Um,
But how did it
but
make you feel that it was released?
unbelievable.
Okay.
Couldn't believe it. Yeah, I still can't believe it. Whenever I think about it, it's unbelievable because I think that's the only fan designed merch they've ever produced
Mm-hmm.
officially. Which blows my mind because there's so many fans and so many people producing, like fan merch and
Yeah.
models and pins and things. So I don't know, it's just it's very surreal and it's still not always, 100%.
Mm-hmm. It's really
It doesn't
cool. It's
always
really
feel
cool.
real. Thanks.
It's really cool. So, guys, if you check out the merch store, by the way, you can find the deck of cards, which is designed by Kanaju. They're
Thanks.
always pretty limited edition, by the way. So if you want to get them,
Yeah, they may or may not be sold out again.
yeah,
They sold out twice. I think the first one was like just a few
instantly,
hours they
yeah,
sold out. Yeah. But they keep bringing it back. They say by popular demand. So I don't have access to any of those sales numbers or
yeah.
anything. So
But
I
it's
don't know
good.
how many
Cool.
they produced. But yeah, I was personally afraid no one would buy them, and I was like, if it didn't sell out, I was gonna be a little self-conscious about it. So yeah, it's been cool. It's been
Good.
really cool. And they
Nice.
and they left the stupid. I had put a card in there that was like a message because the prototype I was making, it had like 53 cards or something.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put in a card that's like a message to Hello Games, like
Uh-huh.
thanks for all the work you've done, a big fan, yada yada. And they left that card in the final production run. I don't know. It's just a little. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know. I was not expecting to see it
Yeah,
in the
I think it's a
final
nice
run.
touch. It's a nice
Thanks.
touch,
they kept it
to
personal.
have that left in
Yeah.
there. Yeah, they kept it a little bit personal, and it lets people who buy these cards know that it wasn't just something that HG did. That Kanaju himself made something, and HG has implemented it in part of their merch store purchases that you can buy. That a player
Gosh, still sounds
can
so
actually
weird.
affect things like that, and that's a really really cool thing. Very much like decals in the game. Some of the civs that are out there, there's only a few that they've actually implemented in the game, but those civs they design their own logos and they were implemented in the game. And it goes to prove that HG listens to the fans
Mm.
and appreciates them as well,
Yeah.
and allows for small little things like that to happen, which
Yeah.
are really good feel good moments to the people who design them.
So,
Um,
Sean,
congratulations.
Sean, if you're listening, I want this as a decoration. I want the little what's the name, Ember again, as decoration in No Man's Sky. And I
Oh
think it
yeah.
would be great as actually having the deck of cards as a decoration you can put on the table somewhere in No Man's Sky.
Gosh.
That would be neat.
Sean,
I have dreamed about that because it's literally just a rectangular,
Yeah,
just a block, and
just a little thing
they
you
already
can.
have the texture.
Yeah.
Just put that's it, just a little rectangular prism.
Sean, go. You can
They
do
already
it.
have
Sean.
posters. Yeah, it could be really
Ooh,
easy for them to throw in there, right?
or if they put a poster
A
with just
poster
like a
like,
picture of
yeah,
the deck, like
order now,
Traveler's Deck,
and like
order now. Yeah, that would be so cool.
and like the the No Man's Sky language, order now.
Exactly.
Limit,
I'd be over the
limited
moon if
edition,
it was
something like
referenced.
that.
I'd be insufferable if that happened. Oh man, that'd be too much. I'd love it.
All right, I think we're gonna call it here. Thank you so much for joining,
Cool.
Kanaju. I hope you enjoyed it.
I had a great time. Thanks for having me, both
Very
of you.
cool.
It was great to finally, interact with the two of you, and not just through a chat, but really cool. Good to meet y'all.
Very cool.
It's a pleasure and an honor, honestly, for somebody who's played the game and made content for so long to finally meet somebody who's done all those things and got to talk to you and get a real good feel for how you feel about the game, its future, its past, and where it's at now. So, thank you very much for being on the show with us.
Thanks
Yep.
again.
And thank you, DG, as well, for joining and waking up early again. I hope you have a good day.
No worries. It's my pleasure.
And thank you everyone in the chat as well. Appreciate you all jumping in and staying around. Thank you for liking and being here, chatting, even while we're not really reading your chat. But I'm reading it. I'm watching every one of you.
I find it difficult to catch up with chat while taking place on an interview. So, hello everyone, and thank you very much for all of your support. You guys are awesome.
And with that, we're going to call it. Thank you again, guys, for joining. And that is the end of Studio 16 for January. Bye-bye.
Until next time.
Ciao.
Bye.
Where's my button?
I'll be outside window licking.
Ciao, ciao. By the way, before we leave, definitely check out KJ and Lava Lamp. They will be streaming in like half an hour. I'm pretty sure. Ciao. Bye-bye.